Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.
Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. What it is, what it do, man. Certified Black Society, foundational Black Americans. I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider. Yes, indeed. They don't want to fuck with us. How's everybody doing tonight, man? Welcome to the Black Alpha Network. We about to go all the way in, all the way live. We're going to continue that FBA work. But before we go anywhere and before we go further, y'all know this is something that we do all the damn time, and we're going to continue it because we are a people of tradition. Before we proceed, I need the family to let me know, where are you at right now? What city, what town, what state, what region? I don't care. Where we got the family tapped in from, because y'all know when we tap in as a foundational Black American family and we all in the same place at the same damn time, things get done. So I want to see where you at. I want to know what's popping, what's going on. This is election season. We about to spin this all the way around, but everybody's going to feel us loud and proud because foundational Black Americans control the yard, always have, always will. So let me know where you are, family. This is what we do on a daily basis. Yes, indeed. Now, family, speaking of holding it down on a daily basis, speaking of being foundational Black American, speaking of doing our thing, we're going to let everybody know right now that we ain't taking no shorts and we ain't taking no losses. We ain't taking none. Anybody who thinks that they're going to play us this season, this go around, it ain't happening. All right. We're going to let everybody know that they're going to have to bow down to us. What we got? We got Polk County, Florida. I see you. We got Greensboro, North Carolina. I see you. Newark, Jersey. Yes, Jersey in the building. NYC in the building. Las Vegas in the building. Atlanta, VA was popping. I see everybody. This is what it do. We got Oregon in the place. That's what I'm saying, y'all. This is what happens when we all get in the same place. Denver, Colorado, one love. Duval County, that's Jacksonville for you. I see you. Everybody, family, because it's going to take all of us to do what we need to do. It's going to take all of us to get done what needs to get done. And that's the type of time we on, and that's how we pushing. I'm loving it. I'm loving the energy already. Oh, this is going to be a good episode. I can feel it already. Y'all know when you can just feel that energy and you know you about to put it down and you know you got receipt after receipt after receipt. That's what we got. And all we do is stack classics, family. So tap in right now. Smash that like button. Share this video. I want everybody to know this is our time. And I'm always preaching that because we're changing things. We're not just saying that we need to change it. We're actually out here really genuinely changing things. Things are going to really get done, and it's going to get done on our watch. And anybody, I don't care who they are, I don't give a damn where they from. If they're not on the same page with us, they're going to get ran the hell over. That's just the bottom line, because we have no more time to be waiting. We have no more time to just be sitting back, lazy, none of that. Foundational Black Americans are changing the game. I see you right there, North Carolina. I see you, Chicago, all day. We got North Chicago in the building. Yes, indeed. Let's get it. Yes, Tampa, Florida. Yep, I see you too. This is what it is. We ain't got no time to waste. We got money to make. So this election right now, a lot of information has came out. And as we said last week when we left, we said what happens? We said in this election, you're seeing brothers and sisters on the Black grassroots really running up on politicians and really coming to them. That never happened before. Family, think about things that have never happened before and then look at what's happening now and just look at the difference in the game. You're seeing foundational Black American men, women, young folks are literally telling politicians, you ain't seeing us, we're going to go see you. We're not falling for the games no more. The minorities, the people of color, none of that. We're not going to be ran out of our neighborhoods. We're not going to have you bring in people who are non-FBA, non-Black to our communities and run us out. It's not happening no more, okay? We done already stood. This is our country. We built this country, all of us. Nobody's running. You're not going to bring in Julio or Jorge and then tell our little kids who are trying to play football they can't be in this building no more. We're not having that, all right? You're not going to sit there and tell foundational Black Americans who suffer from the most hate crimes against us that you're not going to give us nothing, but you're going to give it to all these other people. You're not going to tell me that somebody who just got here last night at 3 o'clock He is more entitled to tangibles and benefits than us when we've been here since day one. We were here before they were here. Let's make no mistake about it. Let's make it crystal clear. Foundational Black Americans were here before anybody. When you talk about the indigenous era was an era where it was just us. And then everybody came. So when you talk about all 5 eras of the United States of America, you can't say it without FBA. The whole future and everything involved in the future will be written in foundational Black American handwriting, because there'd be no USA without FBA. Check behind y'all. Look right there. Look at the screen, family. Look at the backdrop. You see that flag, and what's behind that American flag is that foundational Black American flag, family. We are in the building, in the place. This is going to be a fire episode, one unlike any other. I have so many receipts lined up, and guess what, family? It's coming right along now. We're seeing the momentum shift, and we are the only ones who know about it. If these people don't want to address us, fine. We don't need nobody. We are lineage all to ourselves. We make everything happen, and we've been doing it by our goddamn self. We don't need nobody. And that's the most beautiful thing about it. So we're going to stack some receipts, family. We're going to let everybody know that foundational Black Americans, politically, socially, all across the board, we are on game. We are stronger than ever. We building, we working, we shining, we grinding. And the whole world, I don't give a damn whether you're in this country, out this country, you want to run to this country. You're going to show respect to us, or we're going to G-check you all the way across the board, family. Now, as we sit back and we watch this election coming up, right? The election's coming up, and a lot of things been popping up, and a lot of new evidence have been shown. And everything that we say, and I always say this, family, anybody familiar with the Black Alpha Network, I always say, don't tell us about our victories looking like someone else's victories, because we ain't somebody else. We are a lineage all amongst ourselves. So how somebody else gets assistance and they get all these type of push fors, and everybody's always looking out for them, that doesn't happen for us. Foundational Black Americans, we get everything out the mud. The term "get it out in the mud" comes from us. Everything comes from us. So the very fact that we've been telling people that the Democratic Party, we going there. We've been telling everybody that the Democratic Party is in trouble. We've been telling everybody that the Democratic Party is going to have to run the tangibles. We've been telling everybody it's reparations over everything. No tangibles, no vote. And people thought we was playing. They thought it was one big game. They thought we were joking. See, this ain't the time where brothers and sisters are joking. Black folks in this country are serious. You're not going to come in here and try to weasel in and tether into our culture. We're not having that. You're not going to come around us and say, well, your ancestors died for you to have the right to vote. You need to go vote now because of what happened in slavery. No, we done got rid of every single lie that they've ever put on the front table for us, and we creating everything that's new. That's the thing, family. Everything in this generation is new. It's fresh. They say minority, we say FBA. They say POC, we say FBA. They say yes, we can, we say hell to the no. And I love it. A lot of folks waited. They waited for this era. And there's some brothers and sisters, rest in peace to them, that didn't get to this point. They never got to the point where they actually got to experience having a generation of on-code brothers and sisters. So it is very, very important that we carry that legacy. I always say we stand on the shoulders of all of our ancestors, and we're going to push this thing all the way through. We're not going to look back on this time and say maybe, sort of, kind of, if. We're going to look back on this time and we're going to say, damn, y'all, we did it. We did it. And what's it all about? I'm going to break it down, family. This is it. We identified ourselves, self-identification. No more African-American, no more peoples of color, none of that. We identified ourselves. And once we put that FBA flag on the ground, everything got clear. So we self-identified. And then once you get the lineage straight, now you go after the reparations. And then when you get the reparations, you get the anti-hate crime bill. And after that, we're going to cancel the Democratic plantation. We do all 4 of those. And I promise you, the game has changed forever. There will be no U-turns. There'll be no turning back. It'll only be about us. And if somebody doesn't want to believe us, all they got to do is turn on the television, go down your timeline, and you're going to see things like this right here. New polls have come out, family. And all these polls have shown that the Democrats are in far worse trouble than they thought, than they wanted to believe, than what they wanted to accept. And we got them on the ropes, and we're going to continue to have them on the ropes because foundational Black Americans ain't playing in this generation, family. Look at this. Choice for president, 48% Joe Biden, 51% Donald Trump. Now, let's make this clear. Foundational Black Americans, we ain't on the blue side. We ain't on the red side. We on the FBA side. We've always been on the FBA side. We ain't on nobody's side but our own. But we also understand, we know how to use these two parties against each other. We know that when Mr. Plantation on the left and Mr. Plantation on the right got a little issue, we know how to split that right down the center and put it in our best benefit. You can affect things in an indirect way or a direct way. And what we're doing right now, we got them shook. You're going to have the person who's going to come with the bite and the smile. That's Joe Biden and the Democrats. Then you're going to have the people who come with the bite in the ground. That's typically your Republicans. Foundational Black Americans, we're going to be right there in the middle. We're going to be popping popcorn and we're going to be watching everything. And that's what I'm talking about. We told them. They didn't want to listen. They was out there saying, oh, no, you need to go do this and y'all need to go do that and go vote for this and go over there. No. We told them straight up. We said we will affect the Democratic Party in this election. See, we were getting on code before. We was getting the wheels running. If they did not like how on code we were 4 years ago, they really gonna be mad right now. This generation, this time frame, as we go forward, because this time next year, the election will have passed by a day or so, right? And what's it going to be? It's going to be foundational Black Americans putting their imprint on everything. And that's exactly what that is right there. It's us putting our impact on everything. Look at some of these new polls, family, that just popped out. These are in key battleground states. And do not tell me that foundational Black Americans and the Black grassroots are not the people who affected all of this. We are the ones. Anything that you see that harms the Democratic Party is good for us. Because the Democratic Party are the main perpetrators of sneaky, undercover, bootleg, anti-Blackness. We already know what we're getting with the Republicans. The problem is that Black folks been falling for the Democratic plantation. That Democratic plantation is ending now. It's going to end ASAP. These polls came out right now, family. Look at this right here. In Nevada, Trump up 52, Joe Biden 41. In Arizona, Trump up 49, Joe Biden 44. In Pennsylvania, Trump's up 48, Joe Biden 44. In Wisconsin, Joe Biden is up 47, Trump 44, and he's gaining on him. And that's a key battleground. Swing on up to Michigan. Trump at 48, Joe Biden at 43. And let's go to the beautiful state of Georgia where I reside. Trump up 49, Joe Biden 43. Now, didn't they tell us, family, that Georgia was going to turn into a blue state? Didn't they roll out Mammy Luther King? Didn't they tell us that Stacey Abrams had it all wrapped up? And now look, Stacey Abrams, I literally just seen her a week ago. She came in, gave a 2-second speech, and then they got her out of there. Nobody. She's an international observer over there trying to run game on tethers because it works on them, not on us. And now you're starting to see it spin all the way back around. And this news came out just the other day, family, about these polls. And I'm telling you, it's got the Democratic Party shook. I always say, and I will continue to say, and we're all going to continue to say, every time you see the Democrats upset, mad, angry, pissed off, guarantee you foundational Black Americans are winning. Anytime you see them smiling, guarantee they got something up their sleeve. And if you look right now, family, the Democrats ain't out here smiling. The Democrats is pissed off. And who be the main one getting pissed off when foundational Black Americans start calling out? You got to look at all the Democratic shields. I told you, our victories look different than everybody else's. Damn, we got 273 people in here already. Smash that like button, family. Share this video. We working. This is going to be a whole different episode. So when we start talking about people being upset, we start talking about people being mad, y'all know the first person is going to be Roly Poly. Damn right. Roly Poly's always going to be the first person mad and upset because he understands that if foundational Black Americans run him all the way out with the plantation, he ain't got nowhere to live. These folks live on the plantation. So what happens when we take that plantation from them? Look at Roly Poly sitting here trying to make excuses. Look at Roly Poly sitting there with that I don't know what the hell going on look on his face. Look at Roly Poly upset because foundational Black Americans aren't voting for his beloved Democratic Party. And now he's mad. He's literally running around telling folks, shut up and vote. I ain't lying. Receipt number 1.
All right, folks, the recent Louisiana primary shows Black folks are simply not showing up at the polls like they did when Barack Obama ran for president in 2008.
I've had a number of folks from Millennial and Gen Z talk to me complaining about all sorts of stuff. And I said, it's real simple. Shut up and vote. Shut up and vote. Shut up and vote. Shut up and vote.
Shut up and dribble. Shut up and dribble. Shut up and dribble.
Shut up and vote. Shut up and vote. Shut up and vote.
Shut up and dribble.
Shut up and vote. Shut up and vote. Shut up and vote. And they were like, well, it's not that simple. I'm like, no, actually it is.
All right, folks.
Freeze. Notice, family. Notice. First off, notice that Roland got that I'm hungry look on his face right there. All right, he wanted beep, beep, beep all the way to goddamn KFC. You can see it in that picture, but that's a whole nother notice for a whole nother time. Notice how he done got to the point, fam, where he done tried to con us and backdoor and come up with all these different things. Now he just straight up telling folks, shut up and vote. Shut up and vote. That's the policy they have. Now, remember, when all of that was said by the Republicans, shut up and dribble, it was World War III. They was mad. They was upset. They wasn't having none of that. But now that the Democrats said, ain't nobody saying nothing. Everybody's cool. Everybody thinks it's sweet. No, it ain't sweet. It ain't cool. It's getting called out. And it only gets called out, family, because foundational Black Americans are the ones letting it be known. Anybody who thinks otherwise is lost. We are the ones who are making that known. We are the ones out here really letting the world know that the Democrats are in shambles. And those poll numbers were just confirmation for what we already knew. Those poll numbers were just confirmation for what foundational Black Americans had already laid out on the table. So when you see roly-poly upset like that, telling people to shut up and vote, that means foundational Black Americans ain't on the same page they want us to be on. And why aren't we on the same page, family? It's because of two things. They're not going to try to run us our reparations. And on top of that, family, they're bringing in all these people into our neighborhoods. They're trying to bring all these people into our communities. And we ain't going for that. Y'all seen this last week. And last week, I didn't even play the whole thing. Look at this right here, family. Look at Mr. Mutombo 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, okay? This is what they want us to vote for. They want us to vote for this right here. This is the southern border. And for the longest, people did not know that the southern border has been infiltrated with almost every single community. Because remember, immigration is an open invitation. Look at this right here, family, and tell me, did you hear your city called? I'm going to let this play through. But this is about 3 or 4 minutes of people saying that they're coming to America. Half of them are from Senegal. And they're saying that not only did Joe Biden hook them up to come here, they're also telling you what town, city, state, and region. Damn near, when we sit here and give an FBA roll call, they damn near giving out a damn tether roll call. Listen to this. This is what we rejected. You will give us our reparations, and we're going to put an end to all of this immigration.
Oh, my God. Where are you going? New York. You?
Gambia.
Gambia?
Yeah.
You're lying.
Yeah.
You're lying. Is he from Gambia?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going where?
Yeah.
Thank you. You?
Senegal.
Senegal. Where are you going?
Yeah.
Thank you. You?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
Los Angeles.
Oh, smart man.
Joe Biden.
Oh, what do you say to Joe Biden?
The American president.
You like him?
Look at that. He calling out Joe Biden by name, family. These people are coming to our country illegally. Look at how they dress. I thought these people were war-torn folks who were poor and didn't have nothing. They coming to our country dipped. These folks is coming to our country dressed fresh to impress. And yet they're saying, hey, Joe Biden, who's the first name he named? He ain't say Martin Luther King. No, he didn't. This is supposed to be a black one. I thought we was all brothers. Family. That's what I thought. That's what they tell us, right? They tell us we all brothers, right? Ain't that what they tell us? Okay, so when he starts talking about America, the first person that came to his mind is the person who allowed him to come here, Joe Biden. He didn't say anything about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, foundational Black Americans, where our ancestors paved the way for him to come. He didn't say anything about them. The first person he names is the people that they want to be next to, the dominant society. What I always tell y'all, family, I said immigration is about proximity to kin and caring. These people don't want proximity to us. They want to replace us. All these tethers who come here, they want to be next to the dominant society. And he says openly, Joe Biden, the president. Why didn't he say any of that? Have y'all ever heard anybody at the border, family, sitting there openly saying the president? That's the first person I'm going to mention. No, because it is a policy of Joe Biden to bring all these people in, and you see it right then and there. Mr. Mutombo has spoken, and Mr. Mutombo is letting you know that Joe Biden brought him to this country, and he is here so he can try and attempt to replace foundational Black Americans, but we ain't going for the game.
Yeah? Okay.
Joe Biden is good.
You Joe Biden's good?
Yeah.
Or no Trump?
No.
Trump or Biden?
No.
No, neither. Okay. You?
Senegal.
Huh?
Senegal.
Where you going?
69, Ohio.
Thank you, sir. You speak good English. How you doing?
Yes,
Where are you from?
yes, Senegal.
Where are you going, sir?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Thank you, sir. How you doing? Where are you from? Huh? Senegal. And where are you going, sir? I know, but where are you going?
New York.
New York, him
New
too?
York, yes.
Thank you. Okay. You're
Yes.
from Senegal too?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Where are you from? Senegal. Where are you going? Thank you, sir. You?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
America.
Where?
New York. New York.
New York. Thank you, sir. And you?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Thank you, sir. You? Where are you going? Huh? Philadelphia. How you doing? You?
Senegal.
Where are you going, sir?
New York.
New York. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. And you? Where are you going?
Michigan.
Thank you. And you? Where are you going? Thank you, sir. How you doing? Where are you from?
Senegal.
Where are you going? Thank you, ma'am. You?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
New York.
Thank you. You're cold. Where are you from?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
Thank you.
You? Where are you going? Where are you going? New York? New York? Where are you from?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
Wait, New York.
Thank you, sir. You?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
New York.
Family, receipts on top of receipts, right? Receipts on top of receipts. Is that what's happening at the border, family? Is that what's happening did we just not see that? Does Roland Martin talk about any of that? Do any of the Democratic shields talk about that? Does anybody on the campaign trail, when they sit here and they start talking about the election and we need to shut up and vote, do they talk about any of that? Now, those people are going where? Those people are going to our neighborhoods. They're not going to their neighborhoods. They don't have any. They're not going to the dominant society because when they try to send them up to Martha's Vineyard, they got them out of there ASAP. So who are these people going to? Now, mind you, that's just one group of non-FBA, non-Americans who are coming to our area. Who else, family? Who else? Where else? They're coming from all across the country, and they're all coming to our communities one by one, and it's up to foundational Black Americans to prevent it in the Black grassroots. Let me say this, family, and I say this all the time. We will not win with the Democratic Party. We will not win with the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is a party that has made it clear that they are on 24/7 immigration, and they are willing to do that in spite of all of us at any time, at any moment. Now, that is not the end of it, family. I want y'all to look at this. That's just only one group right there. Where you going? Here, there. That's just one group. Let's talk about this right here. This is a whole nother group that's coming over here. And I want you to look at the living conditions of these people. I want you to see how these people are living over there. Okay. Look how they are when they come to our country. Look at this right here, family. This is a migrant housing center that is being constructed. And I want you to look at how these people are being housed and where they're going. This is Brooklyn, New York. And they said soon to be the home of 8,000 men. Let me say that one more time. 8,000 men are coming there. Foundational Black Americans are homeless in the street, living in some of the worst conditions. And yet the Democratic Party has the nerve to try to put us out on the street. And these people are getting homes erected for them in public based on our taxpayer money. And they wonder why we say close the border and cut the check, zero compromise. Watch this. Right there, family. Right there. How many foundational Black Americans do not have a bed to go home to tonight. How many? Y'all remember when Maxine Waters was telling them folks, go home? Right out there in California. Once again, another Democratic shield who comes around and tries to dictate to us. And that right there is showing you that these people are being stretched out, laid out, taken good care of. Who's funding all this? Let's keep it a buck, family. Beyond just talking about our taxpayer dollars, because it gets way deeper than that, family. When you start talking about who's funding all this, you can tell that the money is going into places way deeper, family. The money is being found. They're pulling it out. And I tell you, we're going to look back on this generation and we're going to look back on this era and we're going to find out not only were there far more illegals than they ever told us, because what I'm hearing and the word on the street for some of the people that I know who live in some of these border places and some of the folks I know who are high ranking in the government, they're saying that the actual numbers that we're hearing in terms of illegals is probably about 3 times less. We're hearing 3 times less than what it really is. So if you hear them come out and say 11 million illegals, it's really probably about 14, 15 million, okay? And they talk about the people in the shadows, you know, the people that Joe Biden said he considers already Americans. I'm hearing that those people are far more in the millions than what they really tell. And in terms of money, I'm hearing that couple million that they talk about, I'm hearing that it's actually a couple of billion and going up into trillion. And you can just look at California alone that spends well over $100 billion on these folks. Same right here in Georgia, and this is the Deep South. But I ain't done. Look at that right there was being constructed, family, for those people. Now look at how some of the conditions foundational Black Americans are forced to live in this country. Shout out to our sister Nikki to God for this one. I appreciate it, sister. One love, much respect. Y'all check this out right here. This is what foundational Black Americans are being forced to live in, while those people are being forced to have beds and cartoons on TVs and video games and cuisines and scooters and Gucci and cell phones, but yet foundational Black Americans get this.
Tour. I don't know what it's finna give, but we finna see. Now, as I walk into the leasing office, I noticed this bitch got to be up under some type of construction, because what the fuck is this? My baby over there doing his own investigation, but as you can see, this bitch was built before Christ. I mean, the decor is from the Last Supper. We had to drive about 5 minutes up the street to get to the actual apartment building, and upon my arrival, damn near all the mailboxes was open. It's trash all over the floor. It looked like somebody been living up under the stairs, y'all. Oh my gosh. I am truly set aback by this shit. Then it's an old ass refrigerator in the hallways. My baby don't even want to keep walking. And then it's really somebody living up under the stairs. Then I found a baby roach giving us a warm welcome before the tour. But the leasing lady couldn't find the keys to the apartment downstairs. So now we upstairs finna go see this other apartment. But then she knocked on the wrong door and this lady came out full of complaints. And she said she ain't have but half the rent. Now, I don't know what the hell that is, but it looked like an ashtray and it got ashes in it. Oh, Lord. Do you see this flow, this nasty ass stainage? So now we're in the elevator and I hope we about to see this damn apartment, because this been ghetto as hell so far. But clearly this building is smoke friendly. Somebody said fuck school as soon as we got off the elevator. But look at these floors. They are filthy. I mean, look at the stainage. And somebody wrote a note on their door saying, don't put no more trash around my door. I don't want no more roaches. What the fuck is this? I cannot make this shit up.
Family, that is what they tell us. Go vote for the Democratic Party for it. The Democratic Party that don't mention none of this, but the new black media does. Do they think we blind? Do they think that we really don't have access to any of this? They act like we living in 1961, okay? They act like we can't just literally turn on our timeline, social media across the board and see that. Does that look like any living conditions fit for a human being? As a matter of fact, when you read the Black Panther Party 10-point program, one of the points was they said, we want housing and shelter fit for human beings. And that was in 1966. Does that look like housing and shelter fit for human beings? Or does that whole tether migrant post look like it? Let me ask this question to the family. If you look at what that sister right there, a foundational Black American, and then you look at what the tethers were getting, which one looks like the American citizen? Which one is living in luxury? Which one is getting the benefits? Which one is getting the tangibles? Which one of those pictures and those videos that we just seen of living conditions, which one of those is the person who built the country, whose ancestors created all this? They are literally affording them the lifestyle that foundational Black Americans deserve. And then when we say no tangibles, no vote, close the border, cut the check. Then they want to turn around and tell us, shut up and vote. No, hell to the no. Tell you what we gonna do. It's gonna be no reparations, no vote, and that Democratic plantation about to come all the way to hell down. That's what it is. And brothers and sisters are fed up. We're not gonna sit back and see foundational Black American men and women and children suffering like that. Well, Mr. Mutombo, Mr. Muhammad, Mr. Jorge, Mr. Sanchez just got here last night, and he's living with beds, and he's got 100 for 8,000 people laid out for him, and he's got video games, and they got scooters, and they got Gucci on. We're not going to sit back and tolerate that. And that's the difference between this generation and every other generation. The generations before would have sat back and let that go down. So we got to question, side eye, anybody running around here talking about immigration is a Black issue. That shows you right there that immigration is just for them. And what I say last week, family, they're trying to make immigrant a class now. That's the wave of the future. That's what the Democrats want. They want immigrants to be their own class because they can't tie us into it. They wanted to tie us into it so they can get off on it, but now they realize they can't tie us into immigration. And since they can't tie us into immigrants and they can't say, well, y'all foundational Black Americans, y'all's really immigrants, they can't run with that. So now they're going to take every single immigrant group and they're going to try to elevate them as a class. Do not be surprised within the next few years, and you're already starting to see it bubble now. Don't be surprised within the next few years if you don't start seeing an immigrant caucus. You don't start seeing immigrant super PACs. You're already seeing them a little bit. They starting to pop up here, there, because these immigrant groups really never got along with each other. These immigrant groups really never mess with each other because they're coming from all over the world. But what happens in America when these immigrant groups get here? What happens all of a sudden, how they start being real friendly towards each other? You got one person who came from the east, other person came from the west, one person flew, one person swam, one jumped the fence, one went under the fence, and they all get here. And all of a sudden now, they're friends all of a sudden. Now you're starting to see this tether group and this tether group act like they're friends. What's the one thing they all got in common? Matter of fact, what's the two things they got in common? Anti-foundational Black American hatred and jealousy, and they want to replace foundational Black Americans. That right there is enough. With the assistance of the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, starting all the way back with Barack Obama. So now they can make immigrants a class, and then they can elevate them, not 1, 2, and 3. They can elevate them all one by one up above us. So that's why brothers and sisters out here ain't going for it. And watch this. Every single day, you're seeing more and more video pull out where brothers and sisters is saying, hell to the no, we ain't going for none of that. Watch this.
Country. We have other democratic cities, Denver, California, LA, sending their people to Chicago, New York. They're sending their migrants to Chicago. Why? Because they're saying we can't take anymore. Chicago has yet to say we can't take anymore. We have to draw the line somewhere. It's a diversion to continue to say this is a federal problem. We need help from the federal government. Yeah, we know that. But while we're waiting for the federal government to act, we need to be doing something here at home to protect us.
Freeze. Freeze. Much love to this brother right here. He preaching, but he said something that I want to freeze frame. Notice that brother said, we need to do something right now at home. Notice how he's being proactive. Notice he being about that life. Notice how he said, we ain't just going to sit back and wait. He said, us as foundational Black American men and women, we know that the government's not going to come help us. They ain't ever. We done got everything out the mud by ourselves, did it on our own. So therefore, handling this situation, we're going to have to do it on our own. And that's what I love, because that's what I was referring to and alluding to in the beginning of this episode. We getting together. You got a problem. I got a problem. We both are part of the foundational Black American family tree. We only have each other. You my certified sister. You my certified brother. We all we got. Then let us come up with a plan. Let us devise a strategy. Let us go forward and let us handle it. The government don't want to do it. We gonna do it. They don't want to see us. We'll pay them a visit. And that's what I love. And that's what's going on in this generation. We not waiting. We not sitting back. We are going forward 100 miles an hour, all gas, no brakes. And that's what this brother's saying.
Now, we don't even know the people who are coming to Chicago. The people that are coming here, we don't know if they have criminal backgrounds. We don't know if they're child molesters. We don't know if they're murderers. We don't know anything concrete about the people coming here. Now, when you look at what's happening, Venezuela are emptying their jails and telling them to walk to the border. So they're coming to Chicago. We already have enough crime here in the city of Chicago. We have enough crime here that we're dealing with. And so I can go on and on. What else is happening?
Notice what he said right there, family. Ain't it funny how anytime the dominant society harms one of us, the first excuse they say is, what about Chicago? It's funny how they'll talk about Chicago even when they ain't in Chicago. I seen people that live way out on the West Coast. They be living in Washington State. They be way down in Florida. They be in Alabama, Mississippi. People from the W community. And something to happen, they'll say, what about Chicago? And they don't even live in Chicago. So it's funny how they'll point out all this crime in Chicago and try to use that as some type of catalyst so they can excuse their anti-Black racism. But yet they don't have no problem with bringing in all of these criminals. So is it that you got an issue with the inflated crime that the government has really put forth in Chicago? Or is it really just y'all ain't got a problem with crime, y'all just got a problem with Black folks? Because when Mr. Venezuela comes over here and Mr. Venezuela got a rap sheet that can rap all the way around the goddamn football field, I don't hear nobody saying it then. So the problem ain't crime. The problem is foundational Black Americans will not move. We will not get out the paint. We will not go in a different direction. We are standing in the soil and we represent where we're from. They did not want us to do this. They did not want us to represent our homeland. They did not want us to not sit here. They're trying to get us to flee. They want us to flee. They said if we keep bringing in all of these immigrants, we let Roland Martin beep, beep, beep all the way around. We let Van Nassar Jones paint his fingernails and go cry. We let broken buck Kari sellers get out here and do the goddamn two-step tap dance. Eventually, maybe foundational Black Americans to get to running. Well, they done found the wrong goddamn ones because we don't run. It ain't in our DNA. Our DNA is about building, working, shining, and grinding. So I don't give a damn where they bringing these people. We ain't going nowhere. And if you look and you're seeing brothers and sisters of all age groups are not going for the bullshit. Let me say this right now, family. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Because everything that we're breaking down today is meant for commentary purposes. It is meant for educational purposes, and is to let everybody know that education is key and we are educating our people to the maximum. That is what we do right here on the Black Alpha Network. I appreciate the love, family. Now, with that said, we're not done, fam. I'm going to break down some more videos and show you when these people get over here, how the government knows damn well what these folks is up to. The government knows damn well what these people are doing because the government is the main ones facilitating everything that goes on. Now, there was a clip I played a couple weeks ago, and there was somebody going off. This is what I'm talking about, trying to encapsulate the energy of foundational Black Americans out here in the world. Foundational Black Americans ain't going for the games, right? So when I say that, I want you to notice the age in some of these people. These are brothers and sisters who are literally letting it be known that we are not falling for it. We're not going for it. Listen to this Zoom call, and I want you to listen to this brother go off. And this is an elderly brother, and he's saying he ain't having it. So notice that these are working class foundational Black Americans all across this country. We are getting on code politically, socially. We're not being ran out of our neighborhoods, out of our towns, out of our state, and we damn sure will not be ran out of the country that our ancestors created. They will cut that damn check, and that is the bottom line. Listen to this brother do the go off. This is Black grassroots energy.
Next speaker is Mr. George Blakemore.
Can't you see this room is divided? The whites are over here advocating for themselves and the illegals, and there's the blacks over here advocating for us. Well, you black elected officials, you go to this side when you take up this side, you black. Now, I told you they steal my minutes here. These people are illegal. You have changed the name undocumented, immigrants, and new arrivals. We've been here. How did we get here? How did we arrive here? On the slave ship. Not on our slave ship. You all don't belong here. You don't belong here. Now listen here. Listen here. Wait a minute. This clock runs real quick on me. Now, you black elected officials, you can't vote, but it says for subject matter hearing only. So when it get time for you all to respond, you go in. I'm telling you what, you rise up with us because your ancestors was on that same ship. Don't forget where you are and don't forget where you come from. You wasn't, your grandmother and great grandmother and grandfather, they weren't immigrants. You're not a new arrival. That's the crime against humanity, what has happened to black people. Gentrified out of this city. You got the right one at this mic. You black ones here. You don't let them go these black ones out. As long as they clapping, these my people that boo. Now you tell them all to keep quiet. All of you. You black don't represent your people. They suggest black faces in high places. You are disgraceful. The ancestors hate you. That's a crime against humanity. Where's Oswald? There's Walter Burnett. Where's Mr. Rob? The one right there. You are here to represent us. Us. But you represent the Democratic machine. Because
Tell it how it is. Tell it how it is, family. Did you hear that right there? Did you hear the go off? The elder was speaking. Let the elder talk. And you know, when the elders get on code with the young folks, everybody in between, you dealing with a different monster. You're dealing with a whole different monster. And that's what this generation is. You see it time and time again. How many receipts can we put down? I wanted to make it clear that when you start talking about foundational Black Americans in this era and this generation, there's so many of us from so many different age groups, so many different backgrounds, but we all know we're part of that FBA family tree. That's what I'm always talking about, that FBA family tree that we're all a part of. And when he was going off, that boy said on us, he said, you don't represent us, you represent the Democrats. Now, mind you, we are the generation right now that really kicked that door down and let it be known. But it shows you brothers and sisters been on that time. It just took us to come in and come with the reinforcements. It took us to come in and really put it down. And you notice with us, family, when somebody really gets it going and then we see other brothers and sisters pull up, things change, right? Well, that's exactly what's happening, and it don't stop. This is receipt number, what is this? We already in 40-some minutes, family. This right here is another receipt. These are brothers and sisters holding it down and letting everybody know we ain't running. You're going to respect us on our turf because we built this whole thing.
Man, I'm going to try not to curse, but y'all, man, like, I've been researching Zodiac 29, and this is exactly what's going on. Only thing this time is the Hispanics versus the Blacks, and we don't have that strong Black leadership that we had with Harold Washington back then. So y'all are letting the Hispanics do whatever they want to do, keep saying we got to have dignity, but the Blacks aren't doing enough in your leadership skills. So what's the point of being an alder person if y'all aren't going to be for the community? That makes no sense. Yes, it's starting to become a race war, but at the end of the day, I know who's going to win because we built this. Woo! Okay? This is unconstitutional. This is inhumane. And to come here and to continue to see more Hispanics and Latinos get jobs than Blacks here is a disrespect. It's a punch in the face. You want us to continue to understand and see the problem, but y'all don't see the problem in the Black culture. Black people are the influence. We wouldn't, y'all know, nobody would be here if it wasn't for us. Okay, this is a whole new generation. This social media, this now, like, you're not gonna allow this to happen. And we're not gonna allow this to happen because we're gonna force you to do the right thing. And if not, y'all getting out of here. I was in Georgia when they flipped that state blue for the first time. I will knock on every senior's door and make them hold their vote. this place will flip red. It'll be a historical moment because y'all not paying attention to them anyway. They're getting displaced. Y'all don't care, but y'all trying to find housing for Venezuelans, for Latinos, for all that. Y'all keep sending them over here when they need to go back. Y'all, one time have y'all sent ICE there? ICE need to come. There's prostitution that's behind all of these police districts. I live in Streeterville. It's prostitution right up the street. I mean, it's a disrespect. And y'all continue to allow this to happen. Like Mayor Johnson is the most hated. And he's going to continue to be hated. The only people that like him is teachers and some of y'all. Okay? I'm trying to tell you, my tax money is not going to continue to allow this. Y'all need to find our money. You need to put more things in our neighborhoods. Y'all aren't doing nothing. Small businesses, the only thing you're giving it to is Latinos. Nah, it's more than that. This is the most segregated city. And the United States is looking at us. We are not.
Ms. Lee, thank you very much for your comments. However, your time has expired.
You want to talk about spitting that real fire. Family, did every single thing that we say you just heard right there? It's a new generation. We say that all the time. We're not running nowhere because we built that. We say that all the time. And on top of that, we'll make everybody hold their vote. We'll find out who's putting these policies forward, and we're going to go ahead and get them out the damn paint. We had somebody call in earlier to my brother's show, and he said, what's tangibles? What's tangibles? Tangibles are policies that are specifically and exclusively meant for foundational Black Americans, the same way that tangibles are policies meant for everybody else. We playing the same thing that everybody else is playing. You're not going to come around foundational Black Americans anymore and try to sell us something different than you sell everybody else, because that always leaves us shorthanded. That leaves other people coming into our communities, and that leaves us with nothing. You're going to cut the check. And notice right there, when you were hearing that, there was nothing about kinda, sorta, if, nothing with a question mark. It was all exclamation points. You're going to do this. We out here making demands. Have y'all heard anybody say, please cut the check? Or could you run those tangibles? Maybe. Have you heard any maybes or sorters or kindas? Is anything being said nowadays real flimsy, or is everything concrete? You notice that? When we say foundational Black American, that is concrete. You can't remix it. When we say no tangibles, no vote, you can't remix it. When we say reparations or else, reparations over everything, we're not out here asking no more. We out here telling. And when you get out here and you tell, that's way different than asking. Back in the old days, they asked and they didn't get nothing. Nowadays, we demanding and we gonna get everything. We gonna get anything that we want, and we gonna get it when we want it. And you can start right now with this election. They didn't want to ask for nothing back in the day. All right. They just wanted Bill Clinton to play the saxophone. They just wanted Hillary Clinton to have some hot sauce. They just wanted Kamala Harris to have some collard greens. Fuck that, fuck that, fuck that. You're going to run us our check, and we're going to get it in full. I want every single dollar, every single goddamn penny, because it belongs to us. There would be no USA without FBA. And when we start talking about that, you got to look at the policies put forth, and then you find out and you identify who put those policies up forth, and then you get them out the paint. And when you want to get them out the paint, you can start with somebody just like this person. We told everybody about Jimmy Crow Joe Biden. We told everybody what type of time Jimmy Crow was on. They didn't want to listen to the Black grassroots. Well, guess what? The Black grassroots is going to let them know. This is who has been putting these policies forth, representing the Democratic plantation, and both of those are going to be done this time next year, and the Black grassroots are going to be the sole ones responsible for it.
And you ain't Black. This is a nation of immigrants. That's who we are. That's why we're who we are. That's what makes us different, and we should invest in it. And you ain't Black. The reason we're the country we are is because of immigration. And you ain't Black. Public school students who are Latino, 28%. You're all going to own the country, man. We better darn well make sure they have every opportunity they have. And you ain't Black. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population, and y'all do. And you ain't Black.
And alongside our partners, the Blue Pacific, we're increasing our climate assistance, including more than $20 million for new investments to prepare for climate and natural hazards. Second point I'd like to make is economic development. Strong growth begins with a strong infrastructure. So today, I'm pleased to announce we're working with Congress to invest $40 billion in our Pacific Islands Infrastructure Initiative. We call it the PI anyway. It doesn't matter what we call it, but that's what it is. I was going to get back to acronyms, and I'm going to withstand not doing that, including investments in digital connectivity through the Partnership for Global Infrastructure Investment. We're also working to launch a new microfinance facility in the Pacific to expand access to finances for small business. We realize how difficult it is and how important it is. And we have signed a new 10-year, $600 million agreement to support
11 million people living in the shadows. I believe they're already American citizens. Teddy Roosevelt said it better. He said, Americanism is not a question of birthplace or creed or a line of descent. It's a question of principles, idealism, and character. These people are just waiting for a chance to be able to contribute fully. And by that standard, 11 million undocumented aliens are already Americans, in my view. And you ain't black. We immediately surged to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come. And you ain't black.
Family, that's right there. That's who it is. Jimmy Crow Joe. We told everybody about him. Yes, we did. We told everybody about Jimmy Crow Joe, and Jimmy Crow Joe gonna be Jimmy Crow Joe. So after all of that, and them folks still went and they voted and they was dancing in the street. They was talking about Trump this, Trump that, anybody but Trump. Now look what that has gotten. Look what that has gotten them, family. And if you look right around 1 more year later, family, what do you have? You have a whole Democratic shield community where now they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go, and they cannot stand on their own anymore. That is because of us. The Black grassroots has changed everything. That's the beauty of it. So when you sit back and you watch this next upcoming election, and it's going down right now, family, this upcoming election, I'm telling y'all, this is going to be the real election. Y'all know how they come around and they say, this is going to be the biggest election of all time, and this is going to be, a massive election. Yeah, it is for the Black grassroots, not for the Democratic shields. This election coming up is going to define everything that we've been putting in work for. Every rally, every time we done ran up on a politician, every time we done stood out in the street, every time we done ran somebody out the paint. This election is going to stand on all of that, and we're going to make it happen. There's some buzzings that we might have to go back, to D.C. in June and pull up. Oh, and by the way, family, let me tell y'all this. If there is another rally coming up, okay, in June, that's what's being thrown around. We don't know, family. My name came up, you know what I'm saying? Salute to our good brother, Tariq. And Tariq says, y'all ask for people, y'all, hey, let me tell you like this. Black Alpha Network, y'all make sure y'all let everybody know. Black Alpha Network, y'all want to see me out there on that stage, man. Hold me down. My brother Afro as well. Black Alpha Network, y'all let everybody know, man, that I will bring that heat and I will represent all of you guys, put it together with everybody else in the new black media, and they do not want to see us all in the same place. So anytime that comes up, yes, indeed, hold Black Alpha down, family, and we're going to cook 100 times over. Yes. Now, with all that said, family, if it does go back and we got to go back to D.C., and we do got to have another rally. And Black Alpha Network, like I said, my name came up, and you know what I'm saying? Y'all know I'm ready to go. We can go right now. I will definitely be there with you guys in the flesh, and hopefully that's on stage, man. But y'all let it be known. It's all about what the people request, man. If the people hold me down and everybody says, man, y'all make sure y'all put Black Alpha Network on there, then I'll be there. But I guarantee you, I'm going to represent for all the certified Black society, everybody who comes in the chat, everybody who holds me down every single weekend. You guys know I got y'all back, fully loaded. But this is the biggest point. This election is coming, and this election is changing everything. And I want to see everybody at every event, because this is the way we change things. This is the way we galvanize, and the way we represent, and the way we let everybody know that the new black media is here, the Black grassroots is here. We get all of that immigrant stuff out the paint. And that's what it's all about. We're getting it out the paint on a day-to-day basis. And that's what I love. Because when you sit there and you bring in these people who are non-FBA, they come over here with hatred for foundational Black Americans. And I want y'all to look at some of these tethers from all over the goddamn place. These tethers are coming in from every single country. And I'm telling you, when these people get here, family, they do not come with good intentions. They come with vitriol for foundational Black Americans. Look at this right here. This is somebody from way the hell overseas. And I want y'all to notice, this is the type of energy that people come when they come to our country, and it ain't peaceful, it ain't respectable, it's hating on us. So as we always say, it's against the whole damn world.
Don't know if Americans are genuinely confused or they're just thick. because this blew my mind. And if you're not American, this will probably blow your mind too. So I'm from England, right? But most English people are usually white, just like Americans are usually white too, okay? Keep that in mind. This is very important. As you can see from looking at my skin, I am not just white. I have black in me, which means I come from African descent. To be more specific, Ghanaian descent. Keep this in mind. I was outside in America and I seen a fellow melanin brother. Now, when I'm looking at melanin people, I can usually tell what part of Africa you are from your features. And I saw this brother that I thought might have been Ghanaian too. Big up my Ghana brothers, by the way. But was I so wrong? So I proceeded to ask, yo, bro, what part of Africa you from? He said, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I was like, oh, what? But like, where are your parents from? Atlanta, Georgia. So what about your grandparent? Atlanta, Georgia. So my next question was, how are you black? There's a lot of black people in Atlanta, Georgia, son. So you're telling me that you're not from...
Freeze. Family, this is what they be doing. They be mocking us. There ain't no love. There ain't no love. There ain't no love. We got to keep it 100. That's what I'm loving about this generation. We're not playing this fantasy game with these tethers. These people do not see themselves as black. Look what he's saying. Look what he's saying. He's first off, they're trying to mock us. He said Atlanta and son. They don't say son in Atlanta, Georgia. So he got his own lingo all twisted. But this is what we're dealing with when these people come to the country. I don't give a damn where you're from. That type of energy, that type of anti-FBA energy that is festered all across the world, it comes here and they hate on us. And let me be clear. When they start talking like this, they're not talking about the dominant society. They're not talking. Notice all these TikTok tethers, they never say nothing about the dominant society. It's always about us. They don't never mention anything other than us because we the ones on their brain rent-free 24/7, 365. And he's basically saying that he doesn't see himself as a black person and he damn sure don't see himself as a foundational black American. Good. But mind you, fam, they'll turn around later when it comes to reparations and say we all black. Which one is it? You get all different types of excuses whenever it boils down to getting in on foundational black American creation. And this is the type of energy that all these people come with when they come to our country. This is why we've been taking the policy, the belief, the approach of you are going to respect us in our house or you're going to get your ass thrown out of this house. This is not the days of scam Africanism. This ain't the days of we all black, brother. Can't we all just get along? We all friends. We tried that, and these people right here get disrespectful. And now, if y'all notice, anytime we get overly nice, people just taking it wrong with it. Look at hip hop. Black folks are saying how hip hop connected the world, hip hop hooray, hip hop ho, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, them same folks were saying that. Now they saying they created hip hop. Black folks is out here inviting folks to the cookout. Now all of a sudden, these folks are trying to take over the whole barbecue. We was telling everybody we all black, we gonna come home, and now all of a sudden they're telling us we ain't black. Now, when we say that we are foundational black Americans and we represent our ethnic lineage, then all of a sudden they tell us we're being divisive. And then when we say, okay, well, we're this, then they say, well, you're not black. Which one is it? We can't win with these people. And that's good because we're not playing that game. You can't assassinate our character because we ain't acting, homeboy. And this is the energy that they're bringing over to America every time they show up.
From Africa, but your skin is saying otherwise. Yep, proud African American, straight out of Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised. And before I could ask him any more questions, brother, I answered it for myself. These people genuinely think that African American is its own race. And this is actually deep, bro. These African Americans are children. Yes, you heard me right. So I'm sorry to break it to you, but there's no such thing as African Americans. Our ancestors were just taken from Africa to America, brainwashed, and completely forgot where they came from. And that's the truth. So maybe go look at your history before saying I'm African American.
First off, we don't even say African American. That's where I'm telling you, they so outdated. Tethers are literally 20 to 30 years behind everything that we do. They're that far behind on everything. They don't even know what they're talking about. Who runs around here and even says African American anymore? The African American does not exist. We got rid of all that, okay? We are foundational black Americans. Nobody's running around here saying that. So he's really proving our point why he think he's getting off. And in reality, he's not. That wasn't a flex. That was falling on your face, homie. Okay? Half freed, feather. That's what we're talking about when we deal with these people. Nobody comes here with open arms. Nobody comes here to be genuine. We have to be honest about that. These people who come to our country, they come with hatred, jealousy, spite, and envy. Now, if somebody out there is really holding us down, good. They'll show themselves here or there. But I'm telling you, it's only going to come in ones and twos, family. It's only going to come in ones and twos. You're not going to see people really out here holding us down the long way. You're not going to see that, family. You're going to see bits and pieces, and they don't really check their people who are off code. You notice that? That's the difference between us and them. When they be off code, they don't really check their folks who's off code. Foundational Black Americans, we make a living of checking people who are off code. If you see somebody doing something wrong, we're going to pull them to the side and be like, hey, drop that. They don't want to drop that, then we got terms for them. And then we're going to run them out the paint. These other communities of Black folks, they don't do that. The very fact that they bring over all of their non-FBA-ness to our country lets us know that in their country, that stuff was never checked, period. And that's no different than if your family go across the street and then you start problems over there. You could have easily ended it now, but you decided not to. And these folks decide not to. That's what the type of time they on, and we all know it. So when they put out these type of videos left and right, all they do is confirm what we've been saying. So when we say that these folks are not rocking with us, they not rocking with us. When we also say these folks do not see themselves as Black, boom. Now notice that guy was sitting there saying there's no such thing as an ethnicity. Watch these folks right here say that they not even Black. Which one is it? We done heard 100 different things from the diaspora. 1 minute you ain't Black, 1 minute you are Black, the next minute there's no ethnicity. It's pretty much find out what FBA is saying and just say the opposite, because all of them are anti-FBA. Watch this.
But in Africa, we doesn't have Black and white. We have Africans. All right? And then when you enter into the continent, we doesn't have Africans. We have Nigerian, Sierra Leonean, Ghanaian, Kenyan, Zimbabwean. This is how we identify ourselves. We do not, I will say this again, we in Africa do not identify ourselves by our skin tone or skin color.
Freeze. That man said, we do not, he said it twice, so you know he was serious. We do not identify ourselves with our skin color or skin tone. So basically, they saying they ain't Black. They're saying that they do not see themselves as Black. We are the ones saying, say it loud, I'm Black and I'm proud. You see the difference. Say it loud, I'm Black and I'm proud versus I'm not really Black. I don't identify as Black. I am Nigerian. I am Guyanese. I am Senegalese. I am Somalian. So if you're all of those things and you don't identify yourself as Black, then how come you get Black all of a sudden when we start talking about reparations? Reparations makes all these folks who say they ain't Black turn Black real quick, and we ain't going for the game.
Ever identify themselves as white. Most Somalis will not identify themselves as Black, but they will, however, identify themselves as a Somali. And this is mainly because Somalis know that Blackness, race, is a social construct created by white Europeans.
We don't see things as Black or white as race. We see things as a national identity. We don't care about race because everybody here is a little mixture of everything. And when you're...
That's what we are. We don't really go around labeling people like that. Like, if you're born in England or born in Britain, you're British. That's as simple as it gets.
That right there, family. That right there. Now, when we tell these folks that they can't get in on our reparations claim, when we tell these folks they can't get in on our money, when we tell these folks that we are going to go ahead and we're going to separate and move over here to this side, then it becomes such a dreaded thing. Why is it a dreaded thing? You just said you weren't Black. So 1 minute they say they identify as their ethnicity. I want y'all to zero in on this, fam. Let's freeze frame this. 1 minute they tell us that they don't see themselves as Black. Oh, we're going to poke some holes and all that tether babble. They say they don't see themselves as Black. They see themselves as their ethnicity, their nationality. That's what they said. But when we say they can't get our reparations money because we identify as our nationality and ethnicity, then they say we being divisive, brother. How many times have they said you being divisive to us in the last 2 years? Whenever we say we are foundational Black Americans, we are a specific lineage, heritage, and culture. All of those people tell us we are wrong and we're being divisive. But then we turn around, we turn on the news, we turn on TV, we go down our timeline, and we see all of them saying that they identify with their lineage, their heritage, and their culture. So when it comes to our money, these folks all of a sudden get Black. When it comes to our money, all of a sudden ethnicity doesn't matter. So it goes to show everybody that it's basically find out what foundational Black Americans are doing or thinking and just go do the opposite. This is truly foundational Black Americans against the world. Foundational Black Americans against everybody. And guess what, fam? We always win. Knockout. And this is what we do when we lay out receipts, family, and they can't handle that. This is why foundational Black Americans in this generation, all the brothers and sisters in the chat, smash that like button. We got 550 something people in here. Yes, indeed. Smash that like button. This is what happens when we get on game and we get on code. We don't play none of the games. We got receipts for everybody. They're not going to say things like that and then just expect that we don't hear it. See, back in the old days, everybody knew who was lying. Just didn't nobody say nothing. Let's be real. The dominant society and anti-Black racism has always been here. All of these come home brothers, y'all not really Black, you are cutters, that's always been here. We haven't really discovered anything, family, that's new. What we have done is that we done peel back the layers and we're not allowing people to be fake no more. That's one thing about FBA. Our lineage is not going to let you be fake. You come around us on that fakery, you come around here farting and flogging, we're going to call you out on it. And that's what we're doing to all of these non-FBAs. These non-FBAs think that they're going to 1 minute say this, the next minute say that, flip-flop all over the goddamn place, and then just walk away with our money. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Why ain't that happening, family? Because foundational Black Americans are on code. When we get on code, we get on game. We are undefeated. We ain't lost. We will never lose. We are only getting stronger, and we get stronger by the day. How strong are we getting, family? We're getting so strong that them same people who say they're not Black, watch the way they start taking our talking points. Y'all been noticing that? Y'all been hearing some of these foreign Black people start saying things like they built their countries. No, they ain't. I literally seen somebody say he is a foundational Black Brit. That's what he said. A foundational Black German. That's what they said. They think if they can just take our talking points, act like they're us, hijack our culture, hijack our history, and hijack our ancestors, they're going to get something. It ain't happening because we watching you every step of the way. Watch this lady right here, family. I want y'all to see how she starts throwing in foundational Black American historical talking points, and she's trying to pass that off as something that her people did. I want you to notice she's going to start naming inventions that foundational Black American ancestors created, but she's going to try to say it like it is of her own. And if y'all listen, I want y'all to tell me where y'all think this accent is from, because the haters, they hate us with a billion different accents. It's basically find out what part of the country, what part of the world, what part of the continent these people are from, and then you're going to find out where the hate is coming from. Watch this, family.
Get caught in the trap. So the brain drain, Africa really needs the brains. We are the most intelligent race on the face of the planet. We invented almost everything that made this society and every society on the face of the planet in human. And when I mean human, I mean as in toilets, sanitary, everything comes from Africa. The chair, the traffic light, the car, the computer.
What? Whoa, freeze. Did y'all, whoa. Run that back. I'm going to run it all the way back from the beginning. Literally, listen to her start naming known, documented, foundational Black American creations, and watch how she erases our name and she puts African on it, and she know goddamn well what she's doing. This is what we talk about tethers. You're tethering onto us.
Might come with the best intentions. They also get caught in the trap. So the brain drain, Africa really needs the brains. We are the most intelligent race on the face of the planet. We invented almost everything that made this society and every society on the face of the planet in human. And when I mean human, I mean as in toilets, sanitary, everything comes from Africa. The chair, the traffic light, the car, the computer. What is it we haven't created? But our brains are going across. There were more, I think, doctors from...
Bullshit. You telling a lie and you know it. She ain't look like she believed herself. You can see it all in the face she was lying. She know goddamn well she didn't. She's literally sitting there saying they created the traffic light. Family, let me get real, okay? Because this just gets me going, all right? When you sit there and you know damn well you didn't create none of that, but yet you're trying to erase us and put it on your people, but yet your people are over there still getting colonized, okay? You're still getting colonized. How in the midst of colonization do you have time to hate on FBA? And that's what we're talking about. These people hate us so high. Don't let nobody tell us that we wrong. Anytime someone's ever told us that we wrong for what we say, family, what ends up happening? We end up proving them we're right. That's why we got receipts. That's why we got invoices, and we dropping spoilers. That's what we do. Foundational Black Americans are always correct. We hitting 100 out of 100. When we say it's nothing but net, it's nothing but net. It's leaving our hand and it's going straight through that net. That's what we do. So when we sit here and say that these people find all of this extra hatred for us, all this extra jealousy and envy, there you go right there. These folks will be facing oppression, facing being colonized. They'll wake up in the morning, the colonizer will be standing right there, and they'll look around the colonizer and say, what are FBA doing? These folks will be down here in South America having all types of issues, and they'll say, well, it's not the colonizer. What's FBA doing? They have this X-ray vision when it comes to hating on us, but they blind everywhere else. It don't work that way, family. This is what we talk about. This is why dropping receipts is so important. And that's why on every episode, family, I'm always making sure to bring receipts. 100% thorough, research, documented receipts, because anything that we say, and I say we because, mind you, the Black Grassroots is all of us, all right? The New Black Media is all of us, and the Black Alpha Network is all of us because we have to network. We are a family, and they don't like the fact that we are a family, and our family tree is stronger than ever, and we stick together. They don't have that. We don't wake up in the morning and say, how can I steal from somebody else? They do that to us. We don't wake up in the morning and say, how can I take from somebody else? They do that to us. We don't sit there and look around the dominant society and go try to find other Black folks to hate on. They do that to us. So when you start looking at these people all across the world and you start examining their anti-Black hatred, notice that they always hate on foundational Black Americans more than anybody. And it does not stop just with them. Did y'all see? And this just came out not that long ago. They're trying to take our reparations claim, and we done broke that down before. We talk about the reparations ops, all right? And the way they tether things in, because mind you, everything has something to do with reparations. Reparations is what they all want. When foundational Black Americans was over here doing our thing and we weren't really pushing reparations, these folks was hush. These folks didn't really come around. When foundational Black Americans was quietly building, these folks was hush. How do you know they was hush? Because when we was over here struggling, silence. You didn't hear nobody talking about Emmett Till, silence. You didn't hear nobody talking about Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, Rakia Boyd. Nobody was talking about them. Nobody was talking about Breonna Taylor. Nobody at all. They was hush, hush, quiet. Jordan Davis, quiet. They didn't say anything. Whenever we struggle or something bad happens to us, they're silent. They sit it out. As soon as we start talking about money, then everybody got us. We on everybody's mind. Everybody's got foundational Black Americans at the tip of their tongue. Why? It's because they understand they're not strong enough to get money. We are. They stand away from us socially. They stand next to us politically. Because when it all boils down to it, they want the money that foundational Black Americans can gather the same way they want the country that foundational Black Americans created. Y'all listen to AOC, and I want y'all to listen to what she throws in at the end. She's going to try to run the whole Black and brown no elition. And at the very end of this statement, because y'all know what they do, they'll sit there and say all these flattering things, these endearing things for about 2 minutes, and then they'll slide in the real agenda at the end. Listen to what she says and listen to what they want, and notice how she'll black and brown us for 1 minute straight. And then at the end, she says, we need reparations. But the reparations she's talking about, family, is not for us. She says that immigrants need reparations. In Black Alpha Network, I got the receipt.
Now, the first thing I want to say is that the fact that this keeps happening over and over and over again is a political failure by both parties. And I want to be very clear about that, because I don't want to draw false equivalence. What is happening here is not the same as what happened during the Trump administration, where they took babies out of the arms of their mothers and deported their families and permanently traumatized these children, some of whom we don't know will ever be reunified with their family again, which is a level of human rights violation that is just simply not the same. Both of these things are barbaric and they're wrong. But when you rip a baby out of the hands of a mother, you cannot draw the same comparison. And anyone who is trying to do that is doing a profound disservice to the cause of justice. So I don't want to excuse any of this, but I don't think we should also get them twisted together, because one is not the same. And we cannot dust that under the rug. And by the way, those families are owed reparations.
Stop. Y'all know I got receipts. Y'all know I got receipts, family. She sat there and buttered everybody up for a minute. Oh, they got it bad, and babies and Trump, and they took them from families and cages. Oh, so bad. Oh, by the way, somebody freeze frame that. Y'all know I'll be cold with these freeze frames. What y'all think she about to do right there? What that look like? Freeze frame that, family. Somebody send me that screenshot. DM that to me on Twitter if you may. Right? You already know what she's doing. All right? You already know what that freeze frame is all about right there. All right? She thinking about the dominant society right there. She got Ken all on her brain with that freeze frame. Trust me, she ain't just using that to talk. Proceed. Notice how she sat there and buttered us up for a minute. And at the very end, she said they are owed reparations.
The cause of justice. So I don't want to excuse any of this, but I don't think we should also get them twisted together, because one is not the same. And we cannot dust that under the rug. And by the way, those families are owed reparations.
Boom. Checkmate. Dropping it. That's all we do. That's all we do, family. Right there, you see, she's trying to use reparations at hold on. Y'all know y'all funny as hell. Hold on. I'm sorry. That was funny. Y'all need to stop. Y'all got me in here rolling. I can't. I'll tell everybody I got the best chat. I got the best chat. I'm gonna be laughing about that all night. Goddamn. Y'all know y'all wrong for that. I'm wrong with y'all too. Hey, we just gonna be wrong up in here then. And that's what it is. Y'all know. Y'all already know what's on her mind when she seen that. That's what she was thinking about, because that's what they all think about, because that's why they come over here and notice that they plead to the dominant society and they steal foundational Black American talking points. Basically what these people do, they steal from FBA and then they run to the dominant society and see if the dominant society can facilitate in the system and stealing from us. That's all it is. You can transfer wealth and tangibles from us, create a bridge, and slide it on over to the dominant society, and the Democratic Party are the main ones that facilitate it. That's what you see time and time again. But notice, she said these families are deserving of reparations. And didn't we say earlier that they're trying to make immigrants its own class? I'm telling you, family, this is where they're trying to head. You got to see the future. When the dominant society speaks, they speak in these dog whistles. And we understand these dog whistles basically make it look like they're talking to everybody, but really they just talking to each other, right? So when you see Ken on TV talking, he's really talking to Jethro. He's really talking to Billy Bob. He may doctor it up. He may spin it around. He may try to make it look like he's talking to everybody, kind of hide out in the open. But in reality, when the dominant society is talking, they talking to each other only. And they just understand word salad and how to twist it to make everybody else feel that they're included. In reality, what they're trying to do is get this immigrant class popping so they can take these immigrants and give them reparations. They know that foundational Black Americans are pushing along too strong. They know foundational Black Americans are moving along too fast. They thought by now we would tire out. They really did. They did not think that right now the reparations movement would be stronger than ever. We've been pushing heavy, fam, for really about 5 years, but heavy the last 3. And they understand that. Trust me, if we know, they know. So the very fact that they know, family, they're trying to now create these little agendas, create these little enclaves to where they can say, we could take this group and this group, combine them. See, before, you can't really just take somebody from Venezuela and somebody from Africa. They're just two people who just came to America. They may have fleeing in common. They may have running in common. They may have hopping, skipping, and jumping in common, but they don't have a class in common. And that's what it's all about. It's all about class. We have these conversations about freedmen and foundational Black American, American Negro. We always talk about class and we talk about status. They don't really have a status that they can use under one umbrella because it gets too divvied up because, you know, they bring everybody from all over the world to America. So this scattering of all these different faces who come to America, these people come to America under different banners, different flags, but they can't put them under one umbrella. And this is why you're starting to see all of a sudden, if you watch the language, that supremacist dog whistle I talk about, now when you start watching it, they're going to start connecting the people who come from Africa, all the way to the people who come from South America. They're going to talk about the people who come over from Asia, the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and they're going to try to put them all under one status of immigrant. And there you're going to start seeing the super PACs. And after you see the super PACs, then you're going to start seeing the committees. Then you're going to start seeing politicians. And they're already sprinkling it out now. But in the future, it's all going to lead to them trying to get reparations. So they could turn the conversation away from foundational Black Americans. They deserve reparations on our old reparations to immigrants deserve reparations. Why do you think Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and Hillary Clinton, and Bill Clinton, and Kamala Harris, and every Democrat always says that immigrants built America? They don't just say things just to say it. There's always a supremacist rhyme and reason. That supremacist rhyme and reason is so they can say they built America, they deserve reparations. They know that we got about 5 or 6 key points they can't take away from us. So if they can't take it away from us, they can try to fuse it in. This is why it's so important that we own code, because when we're on code, we don't allow them to do it. So when we say cut the check, close the border, it's very important that we stay focused on that. That's why this election, family, we're not going for the games. That's why this election, family, we got our agenda laid out. What I say, family, we self-identify through lineage. We get our reparations, we get our hate crime bill, we end the Democratic plantation, and if you do that, you close all the borders. That's what it's all about, and that is the type of time we're on, so they cannot put these people in our place. So this little immigrant class that she's talking about, and you'll look back in a few years, family, and you'll see every single thing that she was saying try to come to fruition. So this is why they're trying to sit here and speak about they deserve reparations too. So do them. So do they. Where does it stop? Next thing, they're going to start saying any immigrant deserves reparations because of the harsh treatment. Why do you think they always talk about how bad immigrants are treated? Y'all notice when we were all younger, when they talked about immigrants, they talked about how bad they had it in their homeland. That's what it was all about. They had it bad in their homeland. They want to come here for a better life. That's what immigrants used to be. Then all of a sudden, immigrants turned into this, they're oppressed in America. They have it so bad in America. They built America. You see where they heading with this. Y'all following that? All of a sudden, immigrants went from they got it bad in their homeland to they got it bad in America now. They're taking them and putting them in cages. You're getting snatched off the street. You're getting deported, which is actually something that should happen. They're making deportation seem like it's oppression. Y'all remember all that? When they was literally telling people, if you call ICE, that's like being racist. They were saying it's racist to call ICE. So you mean to tell me if somebody is a fugitive, because let's be honest with you, all an illegal immigrant is a fugitive, okay? That's why you say illegal, all right? If you say you're an illegal immigrant, that means you're a fugitive. If anybody in this chat, all of us right now, had a family member who is on the run for stealing a candy bar from the local 7-Eleven, and they came to our house, they're going to get us with aiding and abetting. They're going to say that y'all were helping facilitate the crime. They're going to kick your door in like Breonna Taylor, okay? They're going to do a no-knock search warrant. They're going to come in the house. They're probably going to harm somebody in the process, say that they fear for their lives. They're going to say any type of excuse they can, and they're going to do it all under the guise of you were aiding and abetting a fugitive. So what's any goddamn different than somebody aiding and abetting an illegal immigrant? Not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, a whole goddamn family of them. What's the difference? There ain't none, because this is all a part of the play to where they can give them sanctuary cities, they can give them sanctuary organizations, sanctuary committees, and they can give them all the rights and the tangibles that foundational Black Americans deserve and are owed, and they're doing it all under the guise, family, of they are oppressed. The immigrant class is what they're trying to create. The immigrant status is what they're trying to create, because that is the quickest way for them to try to facilitate our tangibles over to people who do not deserve them. Checkmate. Check this out, family. Right here, Mo brothers and sisters on code, letting these politicians know what time it is. We're not running, we're not fleeing, and you will not take us out of our homeland. We built this country, we're going to stay in this country, and nobody can replace us. FBA all damn day. Watch the energy, y'all.
For a long time to be a freedom fighter, to always be on the right side of people. But one thing I have realized, that Jim Crow has messed us up so bad that we want funding and campaign donations, and once we get into office, we somehow forget where we come from. And I'm not talking talking about you. But I look at our other elected officials, how they allow MMS to get abused at city council. And as I came in here, I wasn't going to say anything. But when I walked in here and I seen the city of Chicago ticketing all of the legal people in here to voice their concern about the illegal people. That's not right. Who got ticketed? No. The city of Chicago, when I walked in, the booth people and the ticket people out there writing up all the black people. So what I'm saying is, we paid for all the parking. Yeah, but well, fix it with the city. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, dear brother. I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of these Uncle Tom Negro elected officials that the only thing they figure CTU and the rest of these unions will keep them in office. I'm the first person that stopped the bus of the illegal migrants in Wadsworth, and I won't be the last. So what I'm saying, dear brother, look, I'm uncensored. I'm uncensored. I have not took a grant nor a dollar, so they can't control me. I'm a free black man. So what I'm saying to you is, what are we going to do about reparations? Thank you.
All day, every which way. I love it right there, family. That's what we're talking about. He said, I cannot be controlled. And if you look at it, family, that's exactly what we are on. We cannot be controlled. That's what foundational Black Americans are. We are the uncontrollable. You cannot control us. The whole world can be controlled. We can look at it as in the terms of we are the only lineage that has never ran. We never fled. We never sat back. We're the only lineage who ever stood up because we're proud. You got to understand, when we say we're the only ones who ever fought supremacy, that all means that we're the only ones who are truly, genuinely proud and are willing to put it on the line about it. That's the difference. See, in order to be the only people to stand up supremacy, that means that you have to be the only people who are proud of yourself. How do you conquer W supremacy? Black empowerment. So these other groups who run around here and say they're not black, these other groups who run around here and say they don't identify with skin tone, and we saying say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, Black Alpha Network, fist in the sky. There's a big difference between us. This is why we get things done. What I say, we build, they steal. They flee, we keep it G. And that's why we get things accomplished and they come over here and try to steal what we create. And that brother said he is uncontrollable. He's uncensored. And that's what I love. Foundational Black Americans, if you really look at it, family, that is really what we are. We are uncensored. You cannot put no type of caption on us. You cannot stop us. When we make up our mind and go, we go. We don't sit back and watch the dominant society. We don't sit back and say, can you help me, boss? And anybody who does that, we call they ass out. So it's the difference between us and them. And when we talk about that, notice how that brother at the end, he said reparations, that energy is coming from us. The Black grassroots, for the first time in American history, the Black grassroots is in control of the Black community as a whole. There used to be a little Black grassroots energy here and then some coons, a little Black energy here and then a couple sellouts. Now, for the first time, we are in full control. We got rid of all that negative energy and we're driving the bus. What do? See, back in the old days, it used to be a split. Now there's not. We are the ones getting it in. We're the ones determining our future, and they don't like that. And that's what I love about this generation and this era. We don't have to share it with people who ain't on the same type of time. It's all about us. That's why they're speaking of reparations. That's why they're speaking about tangibles. All of that energy is coming from us. But when we talk about energy and family, when we sit here and talk about aiding and abetting, when we sit here and say that ICE doesn't really do anything to stop these people, when we start talking about how somebody can have illegals in their house with no papers and no documentation, and literally the authorities will drive right by them, family, look at this. I ain't lying. Look at this right here, family. When we say that these folks are out here aiding and abetting, look at this. A group of Mexican women known as Las Patronas who help feed migrants at the crossing border are seen here. Las Patronas, I think that's how you say it. I really don't give a damn. I tell you what, we foundational. I know that goddamn much. These people, watch the way they are aiding and abetting these folks at the border. The migrants are literally driving by and they're literally handing them food and clothing. If you ever seen aiding and abetting, you're seeing it right here. We ain't gonna call them the Los Patrones. We're gonna call them the Miss Julios. Watch the Miss Julios help out Mr. Julios on their way to America, and they aid and abet illegals, the same thing that they say is illegal. Watch this receipt again, family. It's going to blow your mind. Family, freeze. Do y'all see what I'm talking about right there? Do you see what we speaking on right there? Is it evidently clear that these folks are being allowed to come into this country? These folks are not being oppressed. They do not deserve reparations. They're being assisted. If they're not already being assisted by the U.S. government, they're also being assisted. They're also being assisted, family, by all of their friends and their buddies and their pals. This is the type of time they are on. Proceed. Yes, indeed. Check it out, family. Hey, she threw that up like a goddamn football. Let me tell you something, family. These people are very, very used to doing this. They're literally passing this off like a goddamn football. Like we're watching a goddamn football game. They're throwing passes like Pat Mahomes up in here. From the ground all the way up on the train. And then these guys are just catching them. These guys are just catching them with their eyes closed. This happens all the time. Now tell me, how is this on the internet? It said it has 168,000 likes, but yet the government ain't found them. But yet they're trying to tell us there ain't no problem at the border. The border's getting better. Please. This is all an apparatus from the Democratic Party so they can make immigrants a class and they can try to elevate them above foundational Black Americans. This is what we speak about all the time. Look at some of these touch passes, picture perfect, like we're watching a damn football game. Boom, 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 family. What we do? Drop more receipts? That's all we got, right? Receipt after receipt after receipt. That's what they do, family. This is something that happens all the time. You can see it. You can watch it happen. These people are gladly coming to the United States of America because they meet no resistance. These aren't folks who deserve reparations. These ain't folks who built America. First off, how you build something that you fled to? Somebody tell me that, because that's like the biggest thing in the world. We call it out all the time. How do you build something that you fled to? Fled means your ass wasn't here. Built meant you were here. You cannot be somewhere where you're not, okay? Foundational Black Americans built, because guess what? Foundational Black Americans were here the whole time. You was running, throwing goddamn food and shirts and clothes all on trains and snatching it out the air with one hand. But it don't just stop there, family. Y'all know we got receipts. Remember in the beginning, we were sitting there showing all of those icons from Senegal that was coming here? Yeah, remember, I'm from Senegal. I'm going to North Carolina. I'm going to Kentucky. I'll be in Virginia next weekend, brother. Remember all that? That was only one video. And I didn't even play that whole video. That video stopped. That was 3 minutes long. I wasn't even going to do it. But watch this, family. You got more people at the border. Where is ICE? Where is the oppression? Where is all of the brutal nature that they face? It don't exist.
Where you going? New York? Chicago? Senegal. You? Senegal. Where you going? Senegal. Chicago, New York, California? New York. New York. You? Senegal. Where you going? Senegal. Where you going? Chicago? New York. Oh, okay, Bronx. Okay. Buenas noches. Where are you from?
India.
India. Where are you going?
California.
California. You?
India.
Where are you going?
Indiana.
Thank you. You?
India.
Where are you going?
California.
Thank you. You?
Stop. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some certified in it. Look at all those different people, family. Look at it. I said they was going to make a class, right? We said that they're going to make immigrant a class. And immigrants come here under all of these different flags from all of these different nations and ethnicities, but they are not under a political umbrella. They're under a real loose one, but they want to tighten it up, right? Well, there you go. What I say, these people come from all different parts of the world, and nobody seems to get along until they get here. These people are talking about India and Africa. Now, y'all all know the history of the world. Anybody who understands geopolitical nature, you understand that in India, they are extremely racist towards the Africans who are there. You literally have African tribes who have been there for thousands of years, and they are treated like dirt. But when they get here, they all brothers crossing the border as immigrants. Family, all we do is drop receipts, family. All we do is drop receipts. Watch as we proceed.
You?
India.
Where you going?
New York.
Thank you. You?
India.
Where you going?
Los Angeles.
Thank you. You?
India.
Where you going?
California.
You?
India.
Where you going?
California.
Thank you. You?
India.
Where you going?
Los Angeles.
Thank you. You?
India.
Where you going?
California.
Thank you. You?
India.
Where you going?
California.
Thank you. You?
India.
Where you going?
California.
Thank you. That's your boyfriend?
No.
What? That's your boyfriend?
No. Yeah, goddamn right. You know he lying. Hey, you know he lying. Look at that.
Your boyfriend?
No.
Where you going?
California.
Where you from? That's your boyfriend?
No.
What? That's your boyfriend?
No.
Where you going?
California.
Where you from?
India.
Thank you. You? Where you from?
India.
Where you going?
California.
You, sir?
India.
Where you going?
California.
Thank you. You?
India.
Where you going?
California.
Thank you. Senegal.
Boom. Once again, family. Receipts all damn day long. Receipts all damn day long. Now, y'all remember back in the old days, you used to just talk about people from South America coming in through the South American border. Now you got people coming in through the South American border who are literally from the damn Eastern Hemisphere. You got people coming to this country literally from a whole nother hemisphere, but they're all coming through the South. What does that tell y'all? That tells y'all that immigration is an open invitation, and that open invitation of immigrants lets everybody come in one by one, and we're watching it, family. And it does not just stop there. Y'all already know. Y'all remember how we were sitting there talking about these folks running around here trying to use our talking points, right? These people coming over here trying to say, well, you know, we built the country as well. Yeah, so did we, right? We call that out, and we're going to continue to call that out. Well, check this out, family. It don't just stop there. These people are all coming to the United States of America, and they're coming to the United States of America gladly, but they're all trying to use foundational Black American talking points. So whether your ass is here or your ass is coming here, I guarantee you, you are using a talking point that you got from us. We do not just affect the world when it comes to our hip hop culture. We got to understand that. Hip hop is only a small piece of how we influence the earth. We influence the earth, family, in every facet of life, mentally, physically, spiritually, mind, body, and soul. So folks not only want to be like us with our style because we invented swag, people also want to be like us when it comes to that soul. We invented soul. That's why they say they don't have none. They say they're not even Black. Well, if you say you ain't Black, then you ain't got no soul, because the Black soul is what keeps us going. Watch this dude over there, over in England, with his tea and crumpets, trying to say how he built America, trying to say how he started all these things. And he's using our talking points the same way the lady earlier was using our talking points. Everywhere you turn around, you see a swagger jacker. You see a culture vulture. You see somebody who cannot build, so they steal, whether that's hip hop or whether that's our style or whether that's reparations or whether that's building your nation. Watch as we go.
For your youth, it's your ancestors. It's still regular to you. The reason why you're climbing today is because of what my people did. The reason why you're here today is because of what your people did to my people. You don't do anything with this country. You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. The reason why you're in the streets, these streets were built for my ancestors.
First, no, freeze. First off, all that huffing and puffing. Oh, that my ancestors, we built the streets. We built the streets. You better go have you some fucking tea and crumpets, homeboy. Okay, you better go to Buckingham Palace and you better go sit the fuck down because you are not foundational. All right, take your non-foundational Brit ass somewhere else. And notice how he's trying to use our talking points. He's saying they built their nation. That we built our nation is only a foundational Black American thing. It was FBA who are known and notorious for building their nation. These people running around here trying to say they built they built England, they built goddamn Germany. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Your ass came there and you assimilated, and the same way you're trying to assimilate with our talking points. Watch him again. This looks like somebody who's been watching foundational Black American rallies and protests for the last 10 years. He done pulled out his notepad and his pencil, and he started copying every single thing that we said. This is what it is. This man was watching our reparations rally in D.C., and he will be watching the next reparations rally in D.C., and he's taking notes. This is how to be an FBA gone bad.
It's not about your youth, it's your ancestors. It's still regular to you. The reason why you're going today is because of what my people did. Why you're here today is because of what your people did to my people. You don't do anything with this country. You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. The reason why you're in the streets, these streets were built by my ancestors.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. No, stop. That is tether babble at its fullest. No, that's cap. You fronting. You ain't telling no truth, family. You sitting there talking about some the reason you're in these streets. No one's by the way, they are way too polite. Like they sound like polite gangsters. All right. I'm sorry, this don't really scare foundational Black Americans. Nobody's moved by that. When they start talking about I got the Glock and I shot and I bust a cop. No, sit your ass down, okay? That part. When these folks run around here and they start talking about how they built this and they built that, that's all them trying to get on our game. That's them trying to act like they created what foundational Black Americans created. And we already know that they did not. They know that they came to where they're at and they did not ever take ownership of where they're at. This man is sitting there talking about how they built England. Family, you probably didn't even build the damn homeland where you're from because the colonizers was coming over there. This is what happens when these folks allow colonizers to colonize their mind. And foundational Black Americans, we move absolutely different. We move absolutely different. There's nothing about the way we move that is similar to the way they do. Mind you, they said they're not even Black. Now, notice, family, now all of a sudden he's Black. See, this is what I'm talking about. Earlier, the guy was saying foundational Black Americans think we're our own race. And then the people from Africa said they don't identify as being Black. They identify as just being humans. All right. And now this guy's saying that his people built the country. What are you going to get, family? You get a billion different excuses from a billion different people, and don't none of them add up, family. The mathematics ain't mathing correctly. That was that type of energy over there. This is the type of energy you get over here. And I want y'all to notice the difference between the two of them. Stop voting Democrat.
We do sympathize with them. But what I am is I am pro-Black. I am for my people who have been mistreated, who have been marginalized, who have been disrespected. And it is disrespectful for people to expect us to give up our parks and our schools and places in our community for others. We're not saying that there's not room here, but what we are saying is that we are not going to step aside for you to accommodate them when you have continued to leave us out of the equation. So I'm not just talking to Brandon Johnson right now. I'm talking to Governor Pritzker, and I'm talking to President Biden. And I want you to understand that as we run into this upcoming political year, where the Democratic Party is on the menu, hear me. People of Chicago, of Illinois, and of the United States, it is time for us as Black people to stop voting party. It is time for us to stop voting color. It is time for us to start voting our self-interest. And if the Democrats in the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, and the country of USA refuses to listen to us, then it is time for us to start looking at other alternatives. People.
I'm so proud. Family, I'm so proud of foundational Black Americans. First off, I love my certified sister. Salute to every last one of y'all. I love how she say, hear me. Y'all know that's a certified sister when you hit them with that one. Hear me. That's what we do. We make sure what we say is direct. All that stuff that they was talking, all them tethers all over the world, and they was talking in circles and all that, looking around the colonizer. Our certified sisters, when they speak, they let you know. I'm talking to you, not you. I'm talking to you. When I do talk to you, I'm going to direct it at your ass. Until then, in the meantime, in between time, listen and hear me. And what she was saying from an individual aspect, that reflects on us as a collective. One love to all my certified sisters, all my certified brothers. Family, does that look like Black Girl Magic? Because weren't they trying to run Black Girl Magic on us, right? Weren't they trying to run with that? Okay, you see the shift. Again, I told you, our victories do not look like everybody else's victories because we're not everybody else. It takes subtleties. You got to see the nuances. You got to look between the lines if you want to see where foundational Black Americans are winning. So as they try to come out here and send us to Stacey Abrams and all these people, you're not seeing that. The political discourse in this country is being shaped by that. You're seeing our certified sisters saying the Democrats ain't doing what they do, so we're going to have to switch it up. They're not doing what they say they was going to do, so we're going to have to flip it up. And that is what we love about our culture. If something ain't working, if something ain't right, we just get it out the paint. And it costs you nothing. It takes 2 seconds. Boom. These folks need us. This is what people don't understand. And this is why this generation is moving. We understand that they need us in this era. They need that sister right there. That sister does not need the Democratic Party. That sister does not need the Democratic Party. We see what the Democratic Party has done to our people. We've seen it, we saw it, and we witnessed it. And we are not going to do the same thing that too many generations have done before, where you know something does not work and you keep on doing it. Y'all know the definition of insanity. And we're not sitting here doing it over and over and over and expecting different results. We changing it up. All lives matter don't work for us. People of color don't work for us. The Black and brown, no, elition never existed. Scam Africanism don't work. So if it don't work, it got to go. And everybody else has the right to flip and change. So therefore, we gonna flip and change. And ain't nobody gonna tell us different. The Democrats ain't gonna tell us different. I don't give a damn who you are. I don't give a damn what district you come from. You are not gonna tell my brothers and sisters that keep doing something that don't work. You can send out every single Democratic shield. You can have every butter biscuit you can find. That stuff is not gonna work on us. Bottom line, point blank, period. That dude that called in my brother Afro show earlier, some dude was a butter biscuit chaser. He was screaming at us. Okay, he had his butter biscuits burning in the oven, okay? And he's probably listening right now, homeboy. Listen, you can take all that Democratic shield babble that you was doing, getting all in your Democratic shield feelings and emotions, okay, and just know your ass gonna kick rocks. And during this election season, you and your Democratic plantation, because we know you're a Democratic shield, you've seen one, you've seen them all. We know what it look like, we know what it sound like, and we can clearly identify you as the Democratic shield op, and you are going to go where we take all Democratic shield ops. We're going to put your ass on the corner like it's trash day. And trash day is actually tomorrow where I'm from. So we'll be seeing your ass on the corner. But that is what we're doing, family. Salute to that dude. Have a good one. Black brothers and sisters up in here, we are literally letting everyone know it's a change of game. It's a new day. It's a dawn of a new day. And I'm always stressing that on the Black Alpha Network. I'm always trying to tell everybody that we are moving different. Everything is different. Doesn't everything just feel fresh, family? Doesn't everything just feel fresh and new? If you really just examine our culture right now, everything down to the terminology is new. That's why I say, like, we really cleaned house. We really identified all the negative vibes and the negative energy, and we got it out. Our sisters are moving strong. Our brothers are moving strong. Our kids are moving strong. What happens when you put the certified sister and brother together and they moving stronger than ever? You get this. You get this energy. You get this vibe. It's got the Democrats shook, and it's got everybody scared. It's got people literally making their butter biscuits burn in the oven. You know they used to watch the goddamn oven. If the oven said it had 2 minutes, they was there 1 minute and 30 seconds early. They made sure their butter biscuits was taken care of. They ain't even taking care of their biscuits, y'all. When we got these damn butter biscuit banjos literally burning their own damn biscuits, that tells you that the Black Grassroots is on code more than ever. And speaking of food and speaking of biscuits, oh man, you know, it wouldn't be right if we didn't talk about Mr. Biscuit. As we showed earlier, he was talking about shut up and vote. Watch how he's out here caping again. Look at this dude, boy. He be bucking them eyes. Roland be bucking. Look at this right here, family. Look at this right here. You see he got the 2 up, right? The 2 really means he got about 2 minutes left. I told y'all. Hey, what I told y'all? Didn't I say? I said, if them biscuits got 2 minutes left, goddamn. I said, if they got 2 minutes left, they there 1 minute and 30 seconds early. And now all of a sudden, you see Roland Martin got his 2 minutes up. You see what I'm talking about? All we do is say things, and then we watch it happen. We predict it all. Yes. Watch this butter biscuit banjo sit here and talk about President Joe Biden and how President Joe Biden is losing his numbers. And it all goes back to the Black Grassroots. So I'm going to let Roland talk because he got 2 minutes until his biscuits burn in the damn oven. And Foundational Black Americans going to continue working. Check it out.
Break real quick. Somebody named One and Only on YouTube. Democrats funding this station, no doubt. Yo, dumbass lying. You lying. Yo, dumbass lying.
Freeze. The person said, he read a note. Somebody said the Democrats are funding his show. Now, I'm going to say this. He's right. The guy who called in, Yeah, Roland's a shield. But the Democrats are not funding Roland Martin's show. Why? It's because Roland is an actual disgrace of the Democratic Party. I told everybody, Roland is a slave without a master. Ain't that something? He is literally auditioning to find him a place back in the basement. This is what it is. Roland has been fired. Marcus Lemoyne has been fired. All these people have been fired by the Democratic Party. Roland is actually a disgrace. He comes out here and he capes for the Democrats. And we hear him cape for the Democrats so much that we assume Roland is an actual card-carrying Democrat. Y'all tell me the last time Roland was ever seen at a Democratic National Convention. You ain't seen it, have you? You know why? It's because Roland is not accepted at the Democratic National Convention because Roland is a disgrace. He got fired from CNN. Hillary Clinton don't answer that phone no more. So he's literally out here trying to audition to get back in Massa's house, and all that tap dancing ain't working. So when we say the black grassroots in this election got him pissed off, he's extra pissed off, and we here for it.
So there we go with that. And then let's see. Brother King Lee says, Brother Roland, it is a new day. Many folks are fed up with politics. Guess who's not? MAGA. Guess who's not? White evangelicals. So we go to break. I'm going to come up with my panel. But I need all y'all to understand who talk about, man, black people fed up with politics. Guess what? Republicans, do you know why they really, really want Trump to win? Because Alito and Clarence going to retire. And they go appoint some 45, 49-year-old young white conservative to lock in their 63 majority. Oh, yeah. Trust me. See, they complain about Biden's age. Alito and Thomas in their 70s. They want to guarantee they have those seats for the next 30 to 40, 50 years.
Notice how he tried to flip real quick, family. He tried to flip to the Republic. That's all they got left. You can't run that boogeyman game no more. You can't. He said, baby, y'all know why, baby, that the politics ain't stopping y'all. No. You ain't going to hit us with the MAGA. That's over with. That's said and done. You're not going to hit us with that no more. You're not going to sit here and get foundational black Americans to continue to just vote for no goddamn reason. You're not going to get foundational black Americans to keep going down that gambit over and over and over and over and over and over again. Foundational black Americans have made it clear that we are not voting unless you provide tangibles that are specific and exclusive to us. And if that is so hard for you to do, and all you can do is keep pointing at Donald Trump, then we see why the poll numbers that just came out showed that they are in the trash can. And those trash can numbers are all because of the black grassroots. We are the ones solely responsible for everything that is happening with the Democratic Party, and this is why they are so upset. They're sending their shields out everywhere, left and right. They're sending them every time you turn around, and none of it is working. Imagine the Democrats, family, literally out here doing things over and over and over, and it's not working. What do they got next? They can literally not keep pulling out this BS of all of these Trump and MAGA. Who is even talking about MAGA? We ain't talking about MAGA. I ain't talking about MAGA. All right, MAGA ain't got nothing to do with why y'all give us benign neglect policies for 60 years. Nice try. You're going to have to give us another. So what are your excuses, family, when we say we're not out here rocking with you? What are your excuses when you find out that the hatred that you have displayed towards foundational black Americans, the neglect that you have displayed towards foundational black Americans have all came back on you? What do you say about that? I'm going to tell you what they got to say. And check this out, family. The Democrats not only have to deal with us, now you're starting to see that Jimmy Crow Joe Biden, you got some other issues on your hand. It ain't just us when it comes to the Democratic plantation going down. You've been seeing everything that's been happening in Palestine, right? Everybody's been watching what's been going on in Palestine, correct? Well, look at what they're calling Jim Crow Joe Biden. We call him Jim Crow Joe. Now you're seeing protests all across this country with people from Palestine, and they're calling him Genocide Joe. They're saying Genocide Joe has to go. So when the Democrats wake up, they don't just have a black voter issue. Now they're having issues from all of these other groups that they've been trying to elevate above us. Watch this, family.
Joe has got to go. Genocide Joe has got to go. Genocide Joe has got to go. Genocide Joe has got to go.
But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
Joe has got to go. Genocide Joe has got to go. Genocide Joe has got to go. Genocide Joe has got to go.
Hey, whoa, watch it. Watch it. See, and this is good for us. What I always say, family, anytime you see the dominant society have any type of issue, whether it's the dominant society versus the other dominant society or the dominant society and their minions and the puppets, we sit back and do this. We sit back and we watch. That's all we need to do. This is good. I'm looking at all of these poll numbers, and you're starting to see the support for the Democrats as a whole, particularly Joe Biden, is going through the floor. And a lot of these other groups that they've been elevating, they're not really liking the way he's been handling some things. And there's been some drawback left and right. The Democrats got a lot on the hand. Anybody who's been following the geopolitical aspect of it, they're looking at that whole situation going on over there in the Middle East. And what happened, family? That situation in the Middle East, we sat right here 2 weeks ago and we said, we sitting this one out. That's another thing that we've been doing in this generation. We've been sitting things out. If it does not concern us, you're not tethering us into your battles. The Democrats tried tooth and nail to get us involved in that skirmish in the Middle East. And we said A and B are both anti-foundational Black Americans, so we ain't getting involved. They send out every Democratic shield. Marcus Lemoy's shield, he was out here. Holden Martin was out here. Vanessa Jones, you name them. They were all out here trying to get foundational Black Americans to put our strength behind what's going on in the Middle East, and we didn't. We sat back and said, that's on y'all. We don't give a damn. And that is another aspect of this generation, of this era, of this lineage, and this heritage, is the fact that we don't fight for people who don't have our back. We done canceled out every single fake group in these borders, and we're canceling out all these other fake groups outside of these borders. If you do not hold down foundational Black Americans, we ain't holding you down. And the best part about that statement I just made is that nobody holds us down, so we ain't got to worry about nobody else. Only worrying about your family and only worrying about your lineage is a beautiful thing. It was only foundational Black Americans out there in the cotton fields, correct? It was only foundational Black Americans out here reconstructing this country, correct? It was only foundational Black Americans out here trying to get a foundational Black American hate crime protection, correct? So if it's only foundational Black Americans doing all of these things for 500 years, then only foundational Black Americans are going to look out for each other. That part. When I was on the front line down in Jacksonville after that hate crime happened, the only people I seen were foundational Black Americans. I didn't see none of these other groups showing up. These other groups are here. They know how to come to our reparations rallies. They know how to hijack our Breonna Taylor protests. They know how to hijack George Floyd protests. How come they're never here when real things happen? They only show up when it comes to money or drawing attention for their issues. So if that's the case, and we did what we do in this era, we done freeze framed it, highlighted it, and put it up on the screen. If that's the case, then what are we going to do? We're going to sit back and we're going to watch every last one of these groups have their own conflicts, and we ain't lifting a finger. The same way they have never lifted a finger for us. But since that has happened, and family, watch the domino effect. The very fact that they tried to get us involved in that issue over in the Middle East, and we did not get involved, now it's all coming back on the Democrats. They wanted to get Black folks galvanized so we would drop reparations. We leave tangibles on the table and say, we'll get back to that next week. Let's go help these people over there. And the fact that we couldn't do that, now the Democrats ain't got no returns. Now they ain't got no returns for all the work they've been trying to put in. So those other groups are starting to turn on the Democrats. When you try to get foundational Black Americans involved and we say, hell no, you don't get no returns. And now all those other groups are turning on you. Watch this, family. This is what Joe Biden has to deal with. This is what is happening because they did not help foundational Black Americans. This is what's happening now with them poll numbers, and all of this, like everything else, goes back to the Black grassroots. When we do not get involved, the domino effect and the wave goes across the whole world.
My message to President Biden is I voted for you and I regret it.
Will you vote for him in 2024?
Absolutely not.
You can see the crowd coming through, chanting. We have seen people of all ages, little kids here, elderly people here, families, a lot of young people. They have called for a ceasefire. Yes, they have called for an end to the bombings and the ground operations in Gaza. But so much of this rally, today's rally in D.C., was really focused on putting political pressure on President Biden to call for a ceasefire and to stop the unequivocal support of Israel during about their message and feelings about the president.
How I'm going to vote for him? I'm not going to vote for him because he
He's supporting Israel. He's asking for $14 billion to do more killing of the Palestinian people.
And as these
no vote, no vote, no vote. It looked like it ain't just foundational Black Americans out here saying no vote. It looked like their issues might be a little bigger than us. It looks like the same way foundational Black Americans have rejected them, a lot of other people are rejecting them as well. So what happens now when you ain't getting no support from foundational Black Americans, the number one voter block, that's going away because of us. And now what happens when these other groups that you try to elevate above foundational Black Americans, they ain't rocking with you no more. What you got now? What you got? Marcus Lemoyne Shield? Is that what you got? You got Roland Martin? Is that what you got? You got all the moistocrats that we be showing? Who the Democrats going to turn to now, family? That's the $1 million question. Who they going to turn to now? Nobody. So we are at a very pivotal time. And let me tell you this, family. I want to really, really break this down. We are at a very pivotal time to where all the cards are in our hand. All the chips are on our side. We can literally break the Democratic Party. And it is time that we break the Democratic Party, something that should have been done years ago, but who cares because we here now. We can break the Democratic Party because we got all the momentum. Everything is working in our favor. They ain't got no love from these other groups that they're elevating above us. Mind you, Latinos are voting for Trump. Latinos always vote Republican. And now Latinos in these poll numbers are showing that that gap is getting wider. So one group, Latinos, that you put all this money in, you got DACA programs and everything. Mind you, family, they literally give these people amnesty. They give these people DACA. They don't call ICE on them. We've already put all the receipts on the table. They let them just flow into the country. And they still vote Republican. What more can the Democratic Party do for Latinos to get them to vote Democrat? If they do not vote for you after all of those tangibles that you give them, they never vote for you. So that's the voter block they try to replace us with. They try to replace us with Latinos, and Latinos are replacing the Democrats with the Republicans. And you know why? It's because Latinos, they don't subscribe to that version of supremacy that the Democrats do, that we're going to pretend to be friends with Black folks. They don't do that because in their homeland, they're overt with their anti-Blackness. So when they come to America, they side with W's who are overt with their anti-Blackness. They view Republicans as the face of whiteness. They do not view Democrats as. So they're always going to run into that. And now you're starting to see the Latinos are voting more and more and more for Republican, and they love them some Trump. Y'all seen Latinos for Trump. They got music videos and everything out. I would play it, but it probably F your speakers up because it's that terrible. But you see Latinos are coming over here and they vote for Trump. And now you're seeing he's having issues with the Palestinians. And you already know that the Black community, because of us in the Black grassroots, we ain't rocking with them. It is picture perfect timing, y'all, to break the Democratic Party. We got everything lined all the way up. They're not giving us reparations. All right, y'all gone. Y'all not giving us tangibles. All right, y'all gone. You're not giving us the basic human rights. Okay, y'all gone. And you're seeing it every single day, every step of the way. And this is why we are identifying who we are. We're going to get our reparations, our hate crime bill. We're going to get them borders closed, and we are going to bring the Democratic plantation all the way down. And once we bring down that Democratic plantation, all of those Democratic shields are going to be jobless. Guarantee you, you will not see them. Half of them you're not seeing right now anyway. So what happens when we run these people so far off the block, family, that you don't see them anymore? What happens when foundational Black Americans don't vote for the Democratic Party anymore? What happens when foundational Black Americans get to the point that anybody who has ever disrespected us, anybody who has ever insulted us, anybody who has ever enforced their benign neglect policies on us just don't get voted for? The Democrats go down. They need us. We don't need them. And that, once again, is the beauty of this generation. We realize who needs us, and we realize we don't need nobody. We get it all out the mud, and we do it by our goddamn self. And the energy is shaping up real good. This election is going down real good. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a hell of a year coming up. And it's all going to be based upon we can break the Democrats. I don't give a damn. I don't want to hear about the Republicans and all. F the Republicans. See, the problem is that the Democrats get 90% of the vote. They're going to get the smoke. And we already see the Republicans and what they're for now. So what happens when we put the Republicans and the Democrats on the same line? You anti-Black, you anti-Black. You ain't getting the vote, you ain't getting the vote. What we say, we ain't got no friends, only interests? That's the type of time we on. See, the problem was the Republicans are seen way down here, and somehow these old, outdated, coon-ass Black folks saw the Democrats up here. We're going to bring their ass right down here. And once you put the Democrats and the Republicans on the same line of anti-Blackness, Now you're going to get some tangibles. Now you're going to get some reciprocity. Now you're going to get your benefits. And that's what foundational Black Americans and the Black grassroots are doing. And we're doing it every single goddamn day. Watch this right here, family. This is a sister speaking about it. And when you start to see this go all the way across the country like this, it shows you again, the Black grassroots effect is here and it's huge.
She is not wrong. Listen to this.
I'm going to challenge all Black people for this 2024 election to stop going to your polling place and just voting Democrat without even knowing what's going on, just because you've been told to always vote for the Democratic Party. What has the Democratic Party done for us as Black people in the past, I don't know, 50 years? Even the first Black president, he didn't do for the advancement of Black people in this country whatsoever. Barack Obama did more for the LGBTQ community, more for the gay community, signing laws protecting them and their advancement and their rights than he did for Black people the entire 8 years he was in office. So why are we still sitting up here voting Democrat when they don't do for us? When we have old white men telling us, you ain't Black if you don't vote for me, but then he goes to the office and does absolutely nothing for Black Americans, but we sit up here and we vote Democrat every single time because we've been told to. Hasn't helped you, hasn't helped your mama, and it's not going to help your kids.
She is.
Tell me that's the truth, family. Tell me that ain't the truth. Tell me that ain't the real. Tell me that right there, family, ain't exactly what we be talking about. When we say that we have an effect, a completely effect on everything, we have an effect on everything. These people have no choice but to get down and give us our tangibles, because if we don't vote, they don't win. And if they don't win, they out of business. And y'all know we love putting these COONs out of business. That's what we do. And we've been consistently doing it, and we're going to continue to do it. And there ain't a goddamn thing anybody can do about that. And foundational Black Americans in this era and this generation, as we've already spoken of before, we're letting everybody know that we have to get what is ours. The time is now. We cannot wait no more. We cannot wait any further, family. We got to get the Democratic Party out of the paint. We can't wait until the next election, after the next election, after the next election. We got to get them out the paint right damn now. No longer can they exist, and everything is here now. There ain't going to be another go around, another go around, another go around. We can do it today, right here. And this type of stuff is why we got to get them out the paint. Notice, family, when we bring up reparations, it wouldn't be right unless you didn't bring up catfish nuggets, okay? They are not giving foundational Black Americans tangibles or benefits. They're trying to slide foundational Black Americans catfish nuggets, y'all. Yes. Look at this documented history of benign neglect. I'm just going to show you Kuhn Clyburn, but it tells you everything you need to know about everybody.
I'm sorry? You want to know?
Watch this, family.
Support reparations. I support reparations right in that name. Y'all need to learn what reparations is. Y'all keep talking about a word. It means to repair. It's cash payments. Hell no. You never get it. Why not? That's why we need your support. You got a lot of power. You will never get it. You have a lot of leverage. Let me ask you a question. You get our support. We've been dedicated to you for a very long time. Will you listen? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. If you are mulatto and you are allowed to get an education, and this person is not allowed to get an education, how will you measure which one to do what? I was allowed to get an education. But that's not the point. You're talking about the law. You're talking about the law. You're talking about my rights. Whose grandfather was white.
Look how he's talking to him. They don't ever talk to any other group this way. Only when it comes to foundationals do they get tough. And then they'll turn around and tell us to vote. We ain't voting for none of them. We ain't voting for nobody that disrespects us, nobody that gets loud with us. We ain't nobody's punk. Understand that. Foundationals ain't nobody's punk. You're not going to disrespect my lineage, my heritage, and my culture, call us stupid, tell us we need to vote, what we got to do, and then turn around and go to the people of color and start kissing their damn feet. It don't work that way. This is a new era, and all of these outdated Sambos is out the goddamn door, whether they like it or not.
Right. And that's for her mother to get educated. But her daddy was African. And how do you measure that? But Africans get educated now. You support Africans getting educated right now. We're living in Africa. You live in America. I know you got no sense of America.
I'm doing well. Listen, I gotta go, but I appreciate the fist fight and everything. I did want to ask though.
Reparations is a big thing. Look, reparations is big with me. I'm the only one doing the bill. Why y'all keep fucking with me on that? I'm the only one doing the bill. It's my bill.
Which bill?
The reparations bill. HR 40. HR 40.
Listen what he said. Why y'all fucking with me? He's literally telling somebody who came to him, who votes as the #1 voter block, why y'all fucking with me? That's what we get told for simply voting and simply asking for something. Oh, hell to the no.
Okay. I've been doing it for 20 years, 30 years. And it's been around for 38. So why y'all keep telling me about a bill that's been there for 38 years?
If you wait on cash payments to come out of reparations, you're going to wait forever. It's not going to happen. So what you got to do, let me just talk. Don't put that in my face.
Why are you touching me?
Okay, all right. I'm going to leave you alone.
Cut the check. Tell Nancy Pelosi to cut the check.
Yeah.
You do that for me?
She's the treasurer.
Cut the check. Somebody better cut the check.
Well,
reparations are owed, sir.
Talk to them.
ADOS. You're not going to run away from this issue, Congressman.
Oh, I'm not trying to run away from it.
It seems like you are. You're walking away right now.
Oh.
Cut the check, Congressman. Cut the check. Okay. ADOS, you're not going to walk away from this, Congressman. ADOS is everywhere. Cut the check.
What is going on with you? You didn't get your breakfast on time.
I got plenty of breakfast. You can tell, right?
Let's talk about it.
All right.
Now listen to the mammies come in. Listen to the watch now. Watch the family. You're sitting there dealing with people who are talking to grown black men and women like we some damn kids. He sit there and just walks away. Tell you smarter than me. You fucking with me. Listen to all of that. And then as soon as that happens, here come the goddamn 3 mammy musketeers, and they start coming in wagging the finger like they somebody's grandma. Okay, they probably somebody's great grandma. Okay, because they old as hell and outdated. But that type of energy is what the Democrats always give us. Now, every single person in there was very respectful and didn't say anything out of line or out of pocket. And that's the way they got spoke to. That's the way they got talked to, because the Democrats are not serious. It comes a time where you got to understand that these people are going to keep us on what I call the supremacist treadmill. And they're going to have us running in place for another 60 years. And next thing you know, this generation going to come, and the next generation going to come, next generation going to come. Muhammad Ali, I remember one time, he said it best. He said, they go to every black generation and tell them, you're going to struggle, and then your kids will be better. And then your kids grow old, then they go to them and say, you're going to struggle, your kids will be better. And then their kids grow, and they say, you'll be better. And they keep giving you a supremacist IOU. And they keep putting you on stall. Supremacy understands they can't get rid of us, all right? They understand that. If they can get rid of us, they would did it a long time ago. They understand that we are the most strong, powerful, influential lineage on the planet Earth. They get that. But what they can do is they can stall us. And they use stall tactics. And they continuously use stall tactics so they can try to get us frozen. And they're trying to keep us frozen in time. And the more they can get us frozen in time, family, the more they can keep all these other groups coming up. Just keep us here. And eventually all these other groups are going to get here and then here and then here. What has happened is a role reversal. We done took these other groups and brought them down, and foundational black Americans have ascended up. And this is why they're walking away. This is why they're giving us the mammies. This is why they're throwing everybody at us. So now you're starting to hear the fear tactics, and they're sliding in all these other communities. But it isn't just the minions as well. Now you're starting to see all the W liberals. What Malcolm X say about them W liberals, y'all? Y'all know what Malcolm's saying. Malcolm was warning us about them W liberals way the hell back in the 60s, right? So now, not only are we going to get shamed by the 3 mammy musketeers, by Mammy Luther King, by old-ass catfish nugget Clyburn, you're also going to start seeing these W's come out and play fake ally. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When the fake ally pops up and they start saying how, y'all black folks, man, the Republicans is bad. They don't have y'all back like we do. No. Watch this, y'all. This is what's been going on TikTok, all right? I want y'all to notice, all right, how meth head Melissa is about to give a whole Donald Trump is bad. Y'all don't need to talk to Donald Trump. And I want y'all to notice how meth head Matthew is going to come in after that. And both of these people are going to try to give black Americans that whole, y'all need to understand that the Republicans are the racist ones and we're the good ones. So if you really want to serve your house Negro duties, you need to do what the Democrats tell you to do. And this, once again, family, is the era where we are breaking the Democratic Party. And it's happening right in front of all of our eyes, family. Watch this. Any day, meth head. Any day, meth head Melissa.
The coverage started with Laura Ingraham claiming that Trump's mugshot mirrors the mood of the nation, which, to be fair, is true if that mood is ruining Christmas for all of Whoville. But less than an hour later, Raymond Arroyo came with a new narrative, talking about how the justice system is super fair and how systemic racism isn't real. And second, there is so much that's offensive here, but the idea that a man on trial for disenfranchising Black voters is now a universal hero to them or anyone, much less a hero comparable to Martin Luther King Jr., is disgusting. I mean, Jesse Waters is truly one of the most racist people at Fox News. It's unbelievable that he thinks he can relate to anyone that doesn't have a country club membership and a hate crime under their belt. Honestly, that applies to a lot of Fox News. And also to the guy with the mugshot.
Especially those who are very, very far left saying this.
I voted for Biden in 2020. I have never liked him. And when I first heard that he was going to be the Democratic candidate, I said that I wasn't going to vote in 2020, but I felt like it was important and I felt like he was the lesser of two evils. And I still feel that. But after today, I cannot imagine voting for him in 2024 because at this point, the lesser of two evils for whom?
Yeah, this whole I'm not going to vote for Biden in 2024 is maybe one of the most selfish and insane strategies I've ever seen in politics. But look, if Donald Trump wins, I want every single person who went on social media and said things like this and encouraged their followers not to vote to do a couple things for me. Go to every single family who lost a child in a mass shooting and tell them, yeah, I didn't vote for Biden, even though he passed the first piece of major gun legislation in over 30 years, and I let Trump win. Go to the little girls, the teenagers in Republican states who were assaulted and had to have their assaulter's baby and tell them, yeah, I didn't vote for Joe Biden, even though he's appointed pro-choice judges every single opportunity he's had. And I let Donald Trump, the guy who overturned Roe v. Wade, win the presidency. Go to coastal towns around the country, especially where people are suffering from climate change, and tell them, yeah, I didn't vote for President Biden, who invested the most in fighting climate change ever. I let Donald Trump and his pro-fossil fuel agenda win. And finally, go to all of the Muslim Americans who are going to be deported under Donald Trump's new Muslim ban that he's been talking about in the past couple of days and say, yeah, I could have kept you guys here by voting for President Biden, but I didn't. I didn't vote at all, and Donald Trump got into office, and now he's deporting all of you guys. So sorry. But genuinely, for this far-left coalition of people who are like, I'm not going to vote for Biden in 2024, if Trump wins, you will be part of the reason why. You will be part of the reason why, and you'll have to answer to all the people who are affected by Trump's win and his terrible policy that he's going to implement.
Boom. Notice how they put that on us, family. Notice how they put that on us, okay? Notice how when it comes to saving democracy, it's got to be foundational Black Americans. Notice how when it comes to stopping Donald Trump, it's got to be foundational Black Americans. What do they got to do? What do they got to do? Hit us with benign neglect? Tell us that we can't do nothing? Tell us that we don't know yet where the money gonna come from. Shut up and vote. Notice how whenever it comes to foundational Black Americans, it's always what we cannot do for you. But whenever it comes to all these other groups, it's what they can do for them. And then on top of all of that, they got the nerve to turn around, family, and tell foundational Black Americans that we need to go and save America. Now, we built America, and they don't ever give us the credit for building America. But now, all of a sudden, family, they want to tell us that we got to save America. If you don't give us the credit for building America, then we ain't going to come save your democracy. Because in reality, us not voting is in our best interest. And all that stuff that they talking don't mean nothing. Now, I always tell people, the W liberal who comes around and that W liberal who's always trying to hit us with the y'all need to do this and y'all need to do that, that ain't nothing different than slave masters saying, if you don't go pick this cotton, this bad is going to happen. So it's someone who is trying to convince you that doing slave work is in your best interest. And we know goddamn well that ain't in our best interest. So foundational Black Americans, we're going to have to continue to put in that work. And the best way we put in that work is sitting our asses at home during the election and not participating in anything that does not have the Black grassroots on it. If it is not Black grassroots, it does not have foundational Black Americans involved in it. At all, point blank, period, bottom line, nothing else needs to be said. Now, when you start talking about these people, once again, family, that are trying to steal our talking points, I want y'all to notice this as well. We don't just have the dominant society coming around trying to tell us, well, y'all know, y'all need to do this, that, and the other thing. Meth head, Melissa, meth head Matt, whoever, they can take all that fentanyl, Kenneth. They can do whatever they want. Check this out, family. This is a trend that's been popping up all over social media now, too. You're starting to hear some of these tethers running around here saying they're not voting for Joe Biden either. But the reason why they say they're not voting for Joe Biden, they say they're not voting Joe Biden because Joe Biden is not supporting Palestine. Check this out.
Disclaimer, clearly I sound crazy. I gave my voice to Palestine. I've been protesting all week, but I have to say what I'm about to say. I really, really need y'all vote blue no matter who people to stop telling people that they should forget about genocide to vote for Joe Biden. We do not care. We do not care. We do not care. Because at the end of the day, Joe Biden has showed time and time again that he is no different than any Republican. None of the Democrats that would win the Democratic Party nomination, none of the Democrats that would win the presidency in 2024 are going to be any better than any of the Republicans. We have seen this time and time and time again. And honestly, the people that have really been paying attention, the people that have really been advocating, the people that have actually been amplifying the voices of Palestinian journalists, the voices of Palestinian people in Gaza, know that some of the things that we have seen are burned into our memories.
No. God damn, look at them teeth. God damn. Hold on, y'all. I can't even freeze frame that for y'all. That's just too bad. I ain't even gonna do that to y'all. Let me.
Forever.
Okay, there you go. Better. No. We know what you're trying to do. We know exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to run with the whole don't vote blue no matter who. Don't support the Democrats. The Democrats ain't done nothing for us. You're trying to run with all that momentum that we created. All of that breaking the Democratic plantation momentum, that's all because of us. So we understand that you are trying to take our energy and shift it on over to the Palestinian issue. Listen to that, family. If you did not hear her say Palestine, you would definitely think that she was speaking what we speak. It ain't no different than that dude over in England talking about tea and crumpets and how they built England up. It ain't no different than that other lady sitting there saying they created the car and they created the stoplight. They are taking our talking points and trying to facilitate it on over to other groups. All of this, don't vote Joe, all that break the Democratic campaign, that is momentum that we started in the Black grassroots, in the streets, in the soil. And now it's gotten so loud, it's gotten so boisterous that all these other groups are trying to attach themselves to it. But we ain't going for it. She is not trying to represent foundational Black Americans. She is not even representing Black people. She is out here talking about Palestinians. So this right here shows you again, when foundational Black Americans say and create something, everybody else is lurking around so they can steal it and push it off on another group. This is receipt number one. I got another receipt that's the same exact thing as she's doing. And y'all know we're going to play them both back to back. Check it out.
The cries and the screams of Palestinian women, children, men, Palestinian people are burned into my psyche forever. So yeah, fuck the Democratic Party. Fuck voting. Boycott, divest, sanction.
Wait a minute. Did she say divest? Did y'all catch that? Man, yo, we be on it. They can't get none of this shit off on us. Did she just say divest? Did she? Family, hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Y'all know she threw that in there, right? Fuck the Democratic Party. No vote. Divest. You saw that, right? You see what we say? They'll sprinkle in anything at any moment. The same way AOC earlier was saying all of these little talking points, and then she sprinkled in reparations at the end. You got to be very cautious. You got to learn how to train your eyes. You got to have a trained eye, all right, and a trained ear, so you can understand this. Understand, everybody who comes at Foundational Black Americans, they always come through the back door. Nobody ever comes through the front door with Foundational Black Americans because, we get them. So they got to come up with all these sneaky underground tactics. So she sits there and she says 3 or 4 of our talking points, then she throws in divest. And y'all already seen with them goddamn rings, so you already knew what type of time she was on. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to show it to y'all. I think she's got a foreign flag up in her bio or whatever, okay? So we already know what it is, y'all. And she sat there and used every last one. All of that, I'm not voting, that's Black grassroots lingo. All of that fuck Joe Biden, fuck the Democrats, that's black grassroots lingo. Nobody else had any form of energy like that until we showed up. Nobody else was talking on that type of time until we showed up. To be quite frankly, everybody else was cowards. Everybody else was cowards. They sat back, they watched every single lie get told to them, and nobody stepped to the plate. And foundational Black Americans, we are the first ones who said, that's a lie, that's a lie. We ain't going for that. Now, all of a sudden, when we get to moving, everybody wants to come here and act like they've been here since day one. It ain't no different than the Puerto Ricans with hip hop. Let me take it to the hip hop thing. When foundational Black Americans created hip hop, and they literally had the feds trying to ban hip hop, they had the vice president, they had a Time Warner, they had all these multi-million-dollar conglomerate organizations that were trying to stop hip hop and ban it. Anybody who's old enough to remember, they was breaking CDs in the street. Where were all of these other groups saying, no, hip hop's ours, we're going to defend it? Nobody defended hip hop. Nobody stood up and said, nope, we ain't gonna let y'all do that. It was foundational Black Americans. We had to hold down the fort. So the same way we sitting here calling out the Democratic Party, and it was just us by ourselves, the same way it was just us by ourselves with hip hop, just the same way it was us by ourselves when we built America. Now, all of a sudden, here comes all these other people saying, yeah, fuck the Democrats, man. Yeah, Joe Biden ain't shit now. Man, we need to not vote. We need to not support the Democrats. All they do is tell lies, and we need to go divest and get some goddamn spectrum rings in our face. Nah, we ain't going for none of that. We ain't going for none of that. These people are not going to show up out of nowhere and then get in on all the energy that we created while they asses was too scared to step to the plate. We not rocking with that. Not at all. So watch us slide that back in there, family. We on gun.
Burned into our memories forever. The cries and the screams of Palestinian women, children, men, Palestinian people are burned into my psyche forever. So yeah, fuck the Democratic Party. Fuck voting. Boycott, divest, sanction. Boycott, divest, sanction, protest. Shut the fucking embassies down. That is what we're doing. That is what we're doing.
Man, get the hell out of here. You right, fam. You right, bro. You damn right, fam. It's follow the leader. It is follow the leader. Every single day is follow the leader. Get out of here. She knows she cold for that one. This is what we're doing now. We are going to divest and we're going to stop all the movement that they are doing. No. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me show y'all. Y'all let me know. Because I'll be honest with you, I ain't even going to front. I'm not 115% with all these goddamn foreign flags. Y'all tell me what foreign flag this is. Y'all tell me what foreign flag this is in this person's little bio. Right up. Is that? Oh, that's a damn Palestinian. Never mind. She got the damn Palestinian flag in it. Never mind. She got the damn Palestinian flag. She got the damn cape on. She caping all over the goddamn place. So all of the benign neglect policies, not giving us reparations, not giving us what we're owed, none of that is the reason why they wanted to boycott the Democratic Party. Nope. They didn't want to boycott the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party has never served foundational Black Americans. They didn't want to boycott the Democratic Party because they lied to us. They walk away from us. They disrespect us out in the open. No, not because we built this country through chattel slavery and never got a penny back. Nope, not because of the Black Wall Street, not because they never gave us 40 acres and a mule, not because of all the hate crimes that happened to us every single year for the last 500 years. None of that is the reason why they want to boycott the Democratic Party. They want to do that because of what's happening in the Middle East 2 weeks ago. That is what we talk about gatekeeping. This is why we regulate. This is why we don't allow nobody in our culture that is not sanctioned by us. If it does not have the Black grassroots attached to it or associated with it, we ain't rocking with you. And that's politically, socially, and across the board. If you come in this house, if you step to our plate, you come to one of our rallies, and you are not Black grassroots, you got to go. If you come around us at any event, the New Black Media, if you in the chat, and how many times y'all done ran people off the chat? A lot of times, because folks be in here trying to take our energy and shift it somewhere else. This is what these people do on a regular basis. They don't have any iota on how to build. They only have it on how to steal. That was just one of them. This is another one of them with the Palestinian flag all in a bio. This is what we're talking about. So now a lot of this don't vote blue. Let's break the Democratic Party. That isn't really Black grassroots energy. This is simply just people trying to steal Black grassroots energy so they can shift that energy to non-FBA organizations.
Is done. Like the vote blue, no matter who, blue MAGA people, y'all lost, because you have the White House comparing the pro-Palestine protest to the white supremacists in Charlottesville marching. Mind you, I haven't gone to this one yet. The ancestors will take care of her. That karma is going to be dealt with. But this administration is...
The ancestors, first off, is this person talking? I don't even know these people. All these TikTok tethers, family. There are so many TikTok tethers to keep up with. But notice again, the same way old boy from England was sitting there talking about the ancestors. Notice everybody now is talking about the ancestors. Who the hell was talking about the ancestors until we were? Nobody was, family. Nobody. Who was talking about ancestors until foundational Black Americans did? Nobody at all was addressing their ancestors. You literally have people in Africa who don't even have birth certificates. They don't even know who the hell their ancestors are. They just know they hate that village over there on the other side of the water well. That's all they knew. We are the only people out here talking about ancestors. Now everybody talking about ancestors. You got folks talking about, man, you know, the ancestors came down to me and told me I have to boycott for Palestine. Really? You lying. And this is what we're saying when we start talking about these people. They're still in reparations. They're still in our protests. They're still in the lingo, the talk, the style, all of that. They know that they cannot create things. When we say we created the country, that is an actual tangible, like on the planet Earth, right? We also create talking points, and they steal all of our talking points. Now everybody talking about their ancestors. Man, your ancestor was getting colonized like your ass. Your ancestor was divesting just like your ass. You were not out here genuinely putting it down, putting in that work. You just wasn't. It is what it is. Listen, fam, hey, some gonna win, some gonna lose, all right? Some gonna ride, some gonna hide, all right? Some gonna flee, some gonna keep it G. And this is just what it is. Some people are freemen, some people are fleers. Don't be upset because you come from a lineage that did not put in the work. Don't be upset because you come from a lineage that did not afford you the opportunity to live like a king. Don't be upset. The problem is that they sat back and they watched us. That jealousy festered. And now in this generation that we've gotten so on cold, they want a piece of it. Remember back in the day, they didn't want to be around us. No, You didn't want to be around foundational Black Americans when we were out in them cotton fields. So don't come around now. You didn't want to be around foundational Black Americans when we were out here protesting all the hate crimes and atrocities. So don't come around now. You weren't out here in the streets standing shoulder to shoulder with us. You could have easily did. You fled here now. We know you know how to flee. We know you know how to run. How come you didn't flee and run to stand next to us? How come you didn't flee and run to come assist us? You only want to flee and run when it comes to stealing from us. And then you get mad when we tell you we are not the same. Two things for sure. We are the culture, and we are not the same. When you get that through your head, Tether, when you get that through your head, Shield, when you get that through your head, Fleer, then life will be better. And we live in great every single goddamn day. And we're doing it all by our goddamn self. FBA, all goddamn day. Certified, all the goddamn time. And they proceed to keep talking that nonsense.
Is comparing people, calling a ceasefire, people who are calling for Palestine to be free, people who are critical of the genocide happening in Palestine and the occupation done by Israel. They're comparing it to white supremacists. Like, y'all really expect for people to vote for this administration next year? Like, at this point, they want to lose.
Nah, it wasn't nothing about them wanting to lose when we were saying no tangibles, no vote. Nah, no. So here's the kicker. The Democratic plantation and all of those little sneaky bootleg ass ops, we ain't rocking with neither one of them. See, here's the kicker. Sometimes you can go into a place, family, and there could be 5 different groups in the room, and you ain't got to fuck with none of them. The only thing you got to do is be yourself. Only thing you got to represent is your family tree. If you go out, I don't care where you go, and you take your family with you, you're not obligated to nobody else's. You're obligated to yourself. You're obligated to your loved ones, your certified brothers, your certified sisters. When I sit right here on the Black Alpha Network every single week and I put together these shows and I do my research, I'm worrying about FBA. I'm sitting here thinking about my brothers and my sisters. I'm sitting here thinking about my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. I'm thinking about us all together, the FBA family tree. I'm not worried about Mrs. Mutombo. I'm not thinking about Mrs. Sanchez Hernandez. I'm not thinking about none of them Cortez. I don't give a damn about none of that. Hell no. I'm sitting there thinking about us. Mr. Muhammad, fuck him. I'm thinking about foundational Black Americans, the Black grassroots. Everything else means nothing to me. And the most beautiful thing on the planet Earth, family, is when you can get things done and you can do it by being yourself. When you can get things accomplished and you can do it just by being true to who you are. I am true to our foundational Black American family tree. You guys are all true to our foundational Black American family tree. And that's why we win. And that's why we keep winning. And that's why we are stronger than ever. Right, goddamn now. We don't have to steal from somebody else. We don't have to take someone else's culture. We don't have to look around and say, where can we get what FBA did? You can't get what FBA did because you're not FBA. If you was foundational Black American, you might have a little bit in you, but you ain't foundational Black American because so you got none in you. And don't be mad, don't be upset. Just deal with it. And that's what we're doing. We're making everybody deal with it. Everybody has to deal with us. Everybody has to see us because we are the ones pushing the line on every aspect, on every single corridor of society. Foundational Black Americans are making gains. We're making pushes on every single aspect. I'm talking about politically, socially, across the board. I'm telling y'all, they're literally at rallies and protests using our words. They're on TikTok using our words. They're jumping on social media using our words. They're already trying to rap like us, dress like us, act like us, talk like us. Everything that you can do to be a foundational Black American, they're all doing it. And they're all terrible, terrible copies. One thing about foundational Black Americans, we're not somebody that you can really copy and look genuine. Anybody who ever tries to look like us or talk like us, family, you ever notice how bad it looks? It's not a good look at all. It's not a good look at all. And the reason why it's not a good look is because we are uncopied. We are unmimicked. Nobody can pull off what we do because what we do is so thorough. The higher you are and the more talent you have, the harder it becomes for someone to try to copy you. So every carbon copy falls flat, and foundational Black Americans are the last ones remaining. And that's not the last one that we've seen today. I said I got more receipts. These are more people out here. And you see more people trying to run with foundational Black American talking points. And you see more people trying to steal our words. And it lets you know, again, all of this movement on a political level is coming from the Black grassroots. We are stronger than ever. Watch this, family. And I want to hear your guys' take on this and tell me how you feel about what you just heard, because this shows again that our political movement and our momentum and the energy that we have facilitated and created has permeated throughout all of society. And if you look across the whole world, all you see is foundational Black Americans winning and everybody else trying to keep up.
By punishing Joe Biden, by not voting for him, you are punishing yourself.
I think you're missing the point of why a lot of people, like myself included, are refusing to vote for Joe Biden in the upcoming election.
This is why I cannot follow commentators on TikTok, because at some point they're going to remind you that they don't fucking get it. You are saying you are going to not vote for Biden and hand over the country to the party that would have done much worse to Palestine makes no sense to me, because I need you to understand.
There it goes again. Palestine again. Family, all they're doing is acting like they're anti-democrat, like we say we're not voting without tangibles, and they're trying to bring up every other group.
When you don't vote for Biden, you're not punishing shit. He's still going to be safe with his family as a former president. He's still not going to be dealing with anything. I feel like y'all think this is like some kind of game. You're not punishing nobody. You are going to be punishing yourself. You're going to be punishing your friends, your family, all of the good qualities of America that you love. Yeah, that's gone. All because you want to punish Biden? I gotta really critically think for real, because you're saying that you're not going to vote for Biden because he's funding a genocide. But you need to realize that when you don't vote for Biden, you're going to be voting for a genocide here. This really shows who's affected by it and who's not. Because if your response to all this, regardless of what's happening in America, is you going, well, I'm just not going to vote for you. Girl, this is not homecoming. People's lives matter here as well. For once, I need you guys to think. Be logical. You're not thinking. This is.
For once, I need you to get a goddamn comb, a brush. You might even need to go get a goddamn broomstick and do something with that goddamn head, okay? Because that wig is twisted. Your wig is not supposed to be at a 45-degree angle, all right? You might need to put that goddamn wig on an ironing board and put some heat to it, because apparently you don't know what the hell you're doing. And this is another tether, babble, divester, zaddy chaser, and they all got the same talking points. And none of those talking points match what reality is. Reality is that foundational Black America has the Democratic Party shook. Foundational Black America has the Republican Party shook. Foundational Black America has the whole infrastructure of this country shook, from policies all the way to just society in general, based upon our B1 strategy, based upon lineage, heritage, and culture. All of these divestors, these zaddy chasers, these Democratic shields, we done laid them all out today, family. Think about it. We done showed some tethers who are in their homeland, lying. We done showed some tethers who are over here in our homeland, lying. We even showed some tethers who are on TikTok, and they're lying. So all the way across the board, no matter where you turn, you're just seeing a bunch of people who are desperate, who are afraid, who don't know what's going to happen next. You see everything's at a fever pitch right now. There's a lot of nervous people because we got on code. Once we got on code, everybody got very, very shook. And that's a great thing. And we're only getting stronger. So they understand no matter what they feel today, it's going to be even worse tomorrow. And tomorrow is going to be even worse the next day. And we're going to continue to push this line forward and forward until we get reparations, intangibles. We are not stopping. We are not going to get stalled out. We are not going to get tired. We're not going to take no nap. None of that. Every single moment of every single day that passes, foundational Black Americans are getting stronger. That's because we have soul. That's because we have root work. When you got that root work and that ancestral presence is in you, the real ancestors, not all these people who are out here trying to throw around the term ancestor, all right, but their ancestors was getting colonized the same way they are. I'm talking about the real foundational Black Americans that stood up the same way we stand up. Everything changes, and everything has been changing. And that is the best part about right now. We make all the rules, we call all the shots, and no matter where they are, no matter where they come from, they have to deal with us, and it don't stop. And when we speak about don't stop, family, y'all remember, what's that dude named Cory Booker? I think that's his name. Remember that dude talking about baby bonds or whatever, that loser? I think they tried to make him Barack Obama, maybe 1-point ho. I don't know, or 2-point ho. And I think now you got that Hakeem Jeffries dude, and he's about 4-point ho. Every week they got a new point ho when they come to Barack Obama, right? So you have Barack Obama 1-point ho, then you have 2-point ho. They try to give us 3-point ho. We rejected 3-point ho, so they gave us 4-point ho. 4-point ho got rejected. They try to bring us 5-point ho. So it's just ho, 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 all the way across the board, and ain't none of them hoes working because we don't love them hoes. Now, speaking of not loving them hoes, I want y'all to look at how Cory Booker was out there trying to run that Democratic con game, and watch him get hollered down, chased down, and him trying to accommodate all of these other groups has him getting yelled at. So what I want people to know is when we say that we have power in the Black grassroots, we have actually influenced the whole country to be anti-Democrat. This is why I always say our strategy is simple. Get on code, reject the Democrats, and everybody will follow us the same way they follow us everywhere. So when you start seeing these other groups use our anti-Democrat talking points, that let you know they've been influenced by our anti-Democrat policies, and being able to have anti-Democrat policies lets you know that you have political power.
I want to call out to everybody right now. These final hours, this is what's on the ballot. We should know in New Jersey how privileged we are. There are so many places in our country right now where people want to make sure that we have. This is what makes America great. The power to protest, the power to have free speech, the power of America.
Look at that, family. Look at that. Look at that. He's trying to talk over him. He like, well, just hold on now. Just give me a second now. That's the best thing about America is that we have the power to protest. No, let's run that back. He getting yelled at right now because all of those people, they're doing the same thing foundational Black Americans to lay down the blueprint for.
Call out to everybody right now. These final hours, this is what's on the ballot. We should know in New Jersey how privileged we are. There are so many places in our country right now where people want to make sure that we have. This is what makes America great. The power to protest, the power to have free speech.
And his voice started cracking. His voice started shaking. He was like, free speech. No. Let's make it simple, family. Foundational Black Americans, we have laid down the blueprint, okay? Let's make this super clear for everybody to understand, because a lot of people try to purposely misconstrue what we say. A lot of people try to twist it and turn it and spin it, but you can't remix something that's unremixable, all right? Foundational Black Americans have laid down the blueprint on how to cancel the Democratic Party. We have laid down the blueprint on how to cancel any political party that does not serve our needs. And we are, in this era, Black first and independent, which means everything that we do has to be foundational Black American only, foundational Black American centered. We're not talking about another group. We're not talking about another group. We're talking about foundationals. Nobody can tether in. Nobody can attach themselves. We know that anytime we took any policy that was for us, we got things done. Anytime we took policies that benefited everybody else or included everybody else, they walked away with it and we ended up with empty pockets. We're not going for that anymore in this generation. This is the foundational Black American certified generation, and we're pushing along and we're pushing the line and everyone's feeling it. And the blueprint has been laid out and you're seeing the after effects go all the way across the country. Everyone has to deal with us. There's not a corner they can turn where they don't have to see us. If they have a rally, they got to see us. I done been at them personally. If they have any type of gathering, any convention, they got to see us personally. Town hall, personally. Everywhere they go, they have to see foundational Black Americans because we are that on code and we are that strong. And that is making every single politician shook, that they're throwing every single thing they can against us, and it's not working. They're not getting any premiums or any returns. And what do I always say, family? When they don't get their returns and they don't get their premiums, then everything turns on them. And everything has turned on them. And this is why we are reparations, foundational Black American first, anti-foundational Black American hate crime protections, and we will get it without a shadow of a doubt. Facts. So when you add all of that up, you start looking at what's going on across the country. You start looking at everyone who's speaking about us. You start looking at just anything, every morsel of society. I'm telling you, you see that it's follow the leader. And now all these other groups, they're following foundational Black Americans' lead. And when you start following our lead, next thing you know, you're starting to deal with people who are either coming after the Democrats or, like I said, they're just taking our talking points. And even that right there benefits us. And why does it benefit us, family? Is because it shows that we are the ones who are the trendsetters. And we don't just set the trends in terms of hip hop music, like we say. We also set all the trends when it comes to politics. Policies are all impacted by what we do and what we say. So if we say something and we lay it all on the line, they can speak whatever the hell they want to. They can talk whatever they want to talk, but they have to deal with us. And that is the best part about being a foundational Black American. Now, speaking of being a foundational Black American, I want y'all to see this right here. A lot of y'all seen this clip, but I'm going to point this out. And this right here, family, is the old ways. When I say the old ways, I mean the outdated old ways that ain't coming back. And when we talk about the outdated old ways that ain't coming back, you obviously have to start with these Democratic shields. Notice this lady right here. This right here, family, is somebody who is trying to run game on foundational Black Americans. Somebody who is trying to tell foundational Black Americans basically, whether they're not, we just don't understand because we are too intelligent and we just don't get it. And when I say intelligent, what I mean by that is that she's trying to tell us we think for ourselves too much. And anybody who tries to make it look like you think for yourself too much, they already know what type of time frame they're in. Check this out right here. She tells us that basically the Democrats are the way to go and we need to learn. Check.
Here's the deal. Perception is reality. And so when you look at the data that was provided in this poll, it talks about how people feel. And when people decide whether they're going to the poll or whether they're not going to the poll, it's all about how you feel in that moment. And so while the facts may not align with their feelings are dictating their reality. Their reality is that they said that they feel better or they felt better when Trump was in office. But we've been trying to push back. We've got some very popular African-American artists that are out here saying things like, oh, I got checks when Trump was in office. I want those checks again, not understanding that really came from Congress. So we've got a couple of things, a perception issue, and then we also have an issue as it relates to civics in this country.
Boom. That right there. Notice how she's sitting there trying to tell us, first off, we have some very famous African-American rappers and artists out here trying to tell us this, that, and the other thing. Okay. All right. I understand that. I hear that. But here's your problem, homie. Your main problem that you're going to come across is when you start talking about all those rappers, you start talking about all those artists, all of those people are stealing our talking points. So foundational Black Americans, we're building from the ground up and everybody has to deal with us building from the ground up. That right there was the old, outdated way. And that was the old, y'all got to do better and y'all got to vote blue no matter who. And that right there is exactly, family, that is a zaddy chaser. So zaddy chasers do not speak for foundational Black Americans. Butter biscuit chasers do not speak for foundational Black Americans. And outdated COON coons do not speak for foundational Black Americans. The energy has shifted, y'all.
This is an attack on the Black community by the Democratic Party. Woo! And this is an attack on the citizens of this city.
It's past time that it stops. This is ridiculous. We are citizens. We are still dealing with violence. We're dealing with health crisis. We're dealing with high levels of unemployment.
We don't feel safe with you dumping all of these people in our communities. We don't have the resources that we need. You are using our tax dollars, and you have the audacity to tell us that we must make sacrifices for people that broke into the country.
That we are fed up with you not hearing our stress and our demands, but rather do what you want to do to please the Democratic Party. We are fed up with you for not taking the lead to stop the buses. We have veterans who have served this country. There are 68,440 homeless people in Chicago.
And every time that there's a list of negative things, we're at the top of the list. But when it's a list of good things, positive things, we're at the bottom of the list. We say no when it's time to vote the budget for any additional resources other than for the Black community. We say no. What do we say? No. What do we say? No.
The perfect example. That part, that right there, y'all, that's the energy. That energy is the same energy that we've had in this chat. That's the same energy that we've had on this episode. That is the same energy that is encompassing the whole country. They're calling it out. And the one thing that I'm noticing is that, as we said before, it's a lot of different age groups. A lot of those were Black folks who sat back when they were younger and watched that Democratic stranglehold. And now they're seeing it be separated. But the one thing that I'm noticing above all, look how thorough they are. Look at the words, right? They're very exclusive and precise and concise with what they say. They're saying, y'all vote Democrat. Y'all put Democrat over us. Everything is going back to Democrat. There's no vague talk. Nobody's speaking abstract or ambiguous. They're not like them or they or none of that. They're saying the Democrats. The Democrats are doing this. The Democrats are doing that. Y'all are putting the Democrats above us. We are out here homeless. There's homeless Black people. There are veterans out here in the streets. This is what's being told, and I love the way they're telling it. The best thing about all of that, family, is the way they're breaking it down. We are very, very, very cautious about making sure our words do not get remixed. And those brothers and sisters are out there making sure everything that gets said is getting said precisely. So who you're speaking to has to feel it. Who you're speaking to has to deal with it. And who you're speaking to has to accept it. That is what's beautiful about this era. And that's what's beautiful about all these brothers and sisters. So family, as we break everything down on this episode, smash that like button. Notice that we regulated people from all different communities. We regulated people from all different backgrounds. We regulated people from every aspect of society. And that's what I love about all of us, fam. We're not out here playing games. We're making sure everybody knows what we do, what we say, and they have to deal with us. That's what they're doing. So when we speak about uplifting our ancestors and talk about uplifting our legacy and everything that we put in that work for, fam, it don't stop. It don't stop, because what we put down on the table is going to lead to everybody else. And what we put down on the table is going to lead to the whole greater community, right? One thing I want to show everybody right here is I had an opportunity, family, to slide through Atlanta. When I went to Atlanta, it was very, very important that I went to the home of the great foundational Black American icon, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And the reason why I wanted to highlight that for everybody is because when we say we coming to get our check, we coming to get our check. And I had a very, very rare opportunity in this era where we reclaimed the great Dr. Martin Luther King's ancestral presence and his legacy. We snatched it out of the hands of the dominant society. We snatched it out of the hands of the people of color. They cannot use MLK against us no more. And that is because of the Black grassroots. So the same way that we created all of these new trends where everybody's following us, it's the same way we went right back into the belly of the beast and we took Martin Luther King back home. Nobody can stop us. We understand the I have a dream speech, respect. But we also understand that I'm coming to get my check speech. And we put that on another level. So what I did, I had the opportunity to go to the house of foundational Black American icon, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and I wanted to record some footage for the whole family and put this out there so everybody could see it and everybody can feel it. And it was deep, and I could feel his presence. I went past his tomb. I stopped. I checked everything out, and I felt his energy everywhere. And like I was telling my mother, I said, it's changing me. It's changing me. This whole movement, being here on the front lines, talking to all of you guys every single week, putting my heart and my soul into all of this, what I believe I was born to do, and walking in Dr. Martin Luther King's house, it hit me. Mind you, family, I was on the front line. I was on the front line, family, of a massacre, right? Y'all know, everybody's seen it. I'm not going to get all into it. I was on the front line of a massacre, and I was right down the street from where brothers and sisters were harmed, physically, taken away, souls gone from this planet. All right. And all of us as a family, you guys helped me down so much. And I will never forget in my life all of the love that I received. People saying they'll cover my expenses, all that. That changed me. I was already FBA, pro-Black, Black Alpha Network certified. But that took me to another level. So to be on the front line of a massacre against foundational Black Americans and to be able to report to you guys and have you guys hold me down and say that you was praying for me, you had the ancestors blessing me, that changed me. And then to follow that up about a month and a half later, to go to the household of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and be able to walk through there and feel his presence and feel his soul and feel his energy and to hear his speech over the speakers and know that we are in the reparations era. It's one thing to do all this in another era. Much love and respect to every era, I promise y'all. But to be able to do this in this era where we are all together, all my certified sisters, all of my certified brothers, our FBA family tree, airtight, to be able to go to Dr. Martin Luther King's house and certify, salute the camera and say, we are coming to get our check, changed me. It hit me right here and it'll never go away. And it only makes me stronger, family, and I'm going to continue to do it. And I cannot wait to see everybody. Hopefully we can get it done, family, and hopefully we can be out here in the streets, but I hope to see everybody in DC. I hope we can all get together, and I hope I can rock that stage, y'all. I want y'all to see this footage right here, and I compiled this so everybody can see it. It's on my Twitter, man, but ain't nothing better than this show right here with y'all because this is more serious. This is all of us. But this is me in front of Dr. Martin Luther King's house. I put together this is not a speech, but I put together these words for all of us so I can gravitate to it. Check it out. Peace and love, family. Black Alpha Network in Atlanta, Georgia. I am standing in front of the childhood home of foundational Black American icon, the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I'm telling you, family, you can feel that ancestral presence, that vibe, that frequency as soon as you pull up. Now, that's something that we all tap into because we are from the soil. We are the foundation of this country, and we have to maintain it at all costs. Now, in this era where a lot of people are trying to steal our culture, a lot of people are trying to steal our energy, we have to maintain full ownership, and we have to continue to uplift the legacy of our foundational Black American icons. And the best way you do it is continuing that FBA root work. So on behalf of all the foundational Black Americans and in the great words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we are still coming to get our check. Reparations right damn now. Peace. Yes, family. Yes. I feel you. I feel you, man. It's deep. The emotions is deep, man. It's always a roller coaster. I tell people, if you don't feel the range of emotions, I feel you, my sister. Yes, indeed, man. I feel you. I love all y'all too, man, all the time. I love doing this show. I love being here talking with y'all. This is what I meant to do. A lot of people know that I lost my father when we first started the Black Alpha Network. I lost my dad when all this happened. So everything that I've been doing since y'all see me right after my father passed, you know what I'm saying? And I always tell people, if it wasn't for the FBA family, I don't know where I would be. You feel me? I really feel like I found a deep, deep purpose in being with all of you guys together collectively every episode and breaking it down. And y'all know we've been out in public. I've seen a lot of y'all in DC. I've seen a lot of y'all in Dallas. And I will continue to see you guys, man. But this is the FBA family. And I tell people, if you don't go through the range of emotions and roller coasters, it's not really for you. So it's good to be upset. It's good to be happy, frustrated, irritated, back up, because everything we do as foundational Black Americans, we're always going to do it and be exceptional in the process. So if we's crying and we got tears coming from our eyes, we still exceptional and we strong. If we are having a rough day, we still exceptional and strong. And if we having a great day, we're just great and exceptional. So all of that means a lot, man. So you guys know I love y'all with a passion, and I leave every episode. Y'all notice I start off a million miles an hour. I go wild, we go crazy, but I always bring it back down and smooth it out before the show ends, just so we all know, man, that it's much love, man. Much love. Appreciate all you guys. But it's kind of like the final episode, man, because I always want to leave everybody after we get on. You know, we might see y'all in a week, man, but you never know what happens tomorrow. I always tell y'all, man, whoever's with you, man, tell me you love them, because you don't know if they're going to be there tomorrow. You feel me? So just make sure everybody knows. So if it go down, and we are out here in the anti-black race war, and we are exclusive, so we got a lot of people who look like us who hate us too. So basically, if it's the whole world against FBA, then FBA got to ride for FBA, and that's exactly what we do. With that said, man, I appreciate you guys 100%. Love you guys with a passion. It's been dope sitting here breaking it down with you guys. I think we put out some great receipts today. We done held each other down. I appreciate you guys holding me down. And by the way, I did see when the names were getting thrown out there for the reparations rally, I seen so many people typing Black Alpha Network in there. And I was like, that's the family. I love y'all. I love y'all, man. So it was great, man. I seen everybody in there. I was like, Black Alpha, Black Alpha, Black Alpha, Black Alpha. So I was like, yeah, man, I appreciate that. So I definitely want to stop and tell everybody that. And I want to send everybody a certified salute, man. I just want everybody to stay strong, stay good, stay vigilant, take care of yourself, eat good, think good, live good, strong, and be exceptional all the way across the board. And if you do all of that, and you break all of that down, you're going to always win, because remember, if you're a foundational Black American, you woke up winning, you're going to go to sleep winning, and everything you do in your life is all about being excellent. So with that said, family, I want all y'all to have a great day, great night. Wake up tomorrow strong, man, and let's get back to work. I'll see you guys next week, same time. We're going to continue to cook, and whatever they throw at us, we're going to throw it right on back, all right? So certified all the time, FBA all goddamn day. And from the Black Alpha Network, I want you guys to always remember that Black is beautiful, and beautiful is always Black. Peace and love, one love.
Black Alpha Network, home of Black excellence. Power to the people.